Alright, everybody, welcome to Gorilla Major 1 Week 2 Qualifiers. This is going to be an absolutely amazing week coming up, full of a bunch of matches. And, you know, still qualifiers are going on here for Major 1. So, let's break this format down real quick. We got 5 weeks of league qualifiers. Top 8 league teams make winners bracket. Bottom 4 make losers bracket. Then we have 4 open qualifier tournaments. Each winner of those open qualifiers gets a spot in Major 1, not only just in Major 1, but in the winners bracket. We already have our first winner from yesterday, that being the Houston Terrors. So obviously they are looking to show up into this Major 1 and, you know, prove, hey, maybe you don't have to be a league team to compete with the best of the league. And I am joined here with my amazing co-host, Asher Vok. Asher, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I actually had to sleep in here because of how much it was raining last night, because it was negative 10 degrees. We got at least 7 inches of rain, sleet, snow, whatever you can think of. Like, you look outside, it was flooded. It was bad. So I'm doing great, honestly.
Awesome. And yeah, so obviously here we are in Gorilla Major 1. And with that, you know, Gorilla being our host of this major and of all of our qualifiers, let's just go take a look at them.
Race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell.
Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio.
Element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Nolaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teskey. Look at the snipe, that a prop? He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be 3 in the kill feed there. There's Mirage.
Alright, we are back here after that amazing intro as well to what is going to be a fantastic Major 1, obviously, and just fantastic league. Asher, do you want to give us a breakdown on what happened last week in the AWL?
Oh yeah, gladly. If you weren't or were here for last week on the AWL, a lot of exciting stuff happened, and a few things to note, especially with our two teams right now here that we'll be playing tonight, being Grave United versus Validity. Grave United, unfortunately, did forfeit their first match of the season to Nolaflight, giving them their first win, and Validity kinda got smoked, and I say kinda like lightly here, by Imperial Gaming by 3-0, which is a little rough, but moving on from that, we do have a few key things to look out for, with Element having beat For the Fam 3-0, but Vizion beating Dynamix in one of the wildest AEW matches possible, and some of these stats here gathered by my boy Acrylic here, which I am so thankful for, with the quickest Search and Destroy round in at least 14 seconds, the quickest control round in AWL history with 1 minute and 14 seconds to spare, which was absolutely nutty, and the largest hard point victory in this league's history with 250 over 39, which proved to be absolutely insane for Vizion overall.
Yeah, just some absolutely insane things happened in last week, just across the league, and it was one of the most entertaining weeks I've honestly seen in an amateur COD league in quite some time. You know, some teams performed better than I had expected, and truthfully, I'm looking forward to this Grave United versus Validity matchup. Obviously, Grave United with the forfeit last week, we didn't get to see how they played, but now I'm looking in the VC, I see them over there. But we can't forget Validity. They did play last week, so they have our featured player in Haptic. Now, let me break down how these stats are run down. It is a 17 point, so basically, average player is rated at 50. Haptic was rated a 17.1 overall, which is 32nd in the league. Not too good, honestly. With a 13.5 rating in hardpoint, a 21.4 in SND, and a 16.4 in control. All these stats are brought to you by Lobby Up, one of our official sponsors for the Amateur World League season. And honestly, I'm expecting a fun match here. I don't think that either of these two teams are fantastic, but you know, it all comes down to how they play on these individual maps and modes. So let's break those down real quick. First off, we start off with that Embassy hardpoint, followed by an Embassy SND. Something that I want to point out with this is that means each team had to pick Embassy here. So there's a potential that they view it as their strength. Going to be really interesting to see. Then we move on to a Hotel Control, a Fortress Hardpoint, and a Hotel SND if we get to a map 5. With the vetoes being Hotel, El Asilo, Fortress, Hydro, Mercado, and El Asilo yet again. So, you know, some pretty routine vetoes, but I mean, honestly, I'm really excited for this. I love the map pool. And yeah, it should be a good one. Asher, what do you think about this one?
I mean, honestly, when it comes to the vetoes in general, I 100% and absolutely understand why maps like, say, Mercado Las Almas and El Asilo and even Hydro were completely vetoed entirely, because back in like a couple of weeks ago in AWL, like some of those maps and a lot of players did not exactly have the best time navigating those. And if they did, especially like say we were playing Hydro, there were a lot of players that did complain about two things in particular. It was being able to dive under the water and essentially getting flanked from that underwater space, and riot shields, which, you know, here at AWL we are not exactly a fan of, but unfortunately they are around and out. And when it came to Mercado Las Almas, which also proved to be a bit of a contested map here, yeah, not fun, especially in one map. One match I like to talk about in particular, which was actually during the New Year's showcase, which proved to be a little hairy. I mean, production wise was completely fun, but map wise proved to be one of the nuttiest things I had ever casted, because with that being S&D, not exactly fun. But when it does come to maps on the rotation today, being say like Embassy or Hotel, I mean, honestly, one of my favorites, because you do have that ability to be able to use sniper with long sight lines or even shorter sight lines, close quarters combat. It does allow for that as well. And once you put two teams together, say like Grave United and actually Validity on those maps, I have a feeling we could be in for a little bit of competition here, and it's going to be pretty explosive and exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, especially on, I want to say, it's El Asilo. You love to see the sniper get pulled out. It is such an open map, and that makes for some really fun clips, especially when it comes to that SND. Just can be awesome. Let's actually go take a look at this map pool. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be there, but should be a good time regardless. El Asilo, one of my favorite maps, but yeah, sadly just not gonna pop up today. But it is replaced by a pretty good Hotel and Embassy to take its spot in that SND area, which, again, I'm a pretty big fan of. I know Embassy not the biggest, like, players aren't the biggest fan of it, but honestly, makes for some pretty fun content here when you're in the booth. You get to see some crazy stuff happen, especially on that hard point. Those first, like, one of those hills, the one that's outdoors, woo, just always a mixer, and it's so fun to watch. I'm looking forward to this. This should be a really entertaining and honestly close quarters battle here.
That is true. And on Embassy, you do have a lot of places that allow for close quarters, like you said before. However, one thing I'd like to watch out for is that a lot of outdoor combat versus indoor happens mostly on Embassy, because a lot of players do opt to go either outside and, you know, try to get those flank points and try to get those rotations in, right? And a lot of grenade plays can happen. A lot of sniper plays can happen as well. And like you said, we in the booth absolutely love to see that madness and that chaos 100% for sure.
Yeah, it just always makes for a really good time here. And yeah, I mean, I always look forward to it. Those are some of my favorite maps to cast personally. So, you know, it's always just, those maps specifically are either slow-paced or fast-paced. Generally on the SND, you know, it depends on Embassy. You play it a little bit slower, that's just how that mode goes. But man, on that hard point, people just are flying around, and that's why I'm looking forward to so much when it comes to that. But yeah, let's go back to these two teams. Honestly, I'm expecting a good showing here. Personally, I'm predicting a Grave United maybe 3-1 or 3-2. I think these teams match up pretty evenly. I think Validity did get outmatched versus Imperial, and I think they are looking for the bounce back. But I do think Grave United just have the higher skill in general. Asher, what do you think?
I mean, I actually have to agree with you. I mean, Grave United, I'm definitely sensing a little bit of a skill tilt, like, versus them versus Validity, right? And as much as I want to say we could get a 3-1 game here, I got a feeling we might be able to go 2-2 and then maybe see who gets that at a match point.
Yeah, absolutely. It just should be a very fun match. I think it's going to be a lot back and forth, but truthfully, I think whoever is better on the respawns is just going to take it. Obviously, 3 of these 5 maps and modes do come from that respawn, so going to be extremely crucial to be able to get those kills, especially on the limited life counts modes, because, man, if you don't, especially on that control, you can be in a bad spot. So yeah, I mean, I always look forward to it. Looking forward to how they set these points up as well. You know, a lot of map control is extremely important, especially on maps, modes like Hardpoint and Control. So if you can get a good setup, you're going to be A-okay. And it appears like our lobbies should be full, and we should be starting up very shortly.
Alrighty, indeed. As we get to this lobby start, which I've been looking forward to for the longest time, we are starting off not with Embassy, as we got our maps a little bit mixed up here, but Hotel Greenberg, which we've definitely seen a lot of gameplay on this map in the past couple of weeks here at AWL, all of which proved to be some pretty spicy gameplay indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. I always love this map. It's a very fun one on this hardpoint. Just a lot of high action gunfights and some really good fun spots to like see the players just hold. Obviously, that P6 I want to say is just so crucial, and man, I absolutely love it. But really quick, we're gonna see Haptic go kitchen side here early, maybe potentially find number 2. If he pokes out at the right time. No, he is behind that wall, and 3 kills coming early there for the side of Grave United. They are going to be the first team on this point. And oh my god, is Dilly immediately popping off with a nice 2 kills to start off. And Grippy Slug, aka I want to say Nexy. He's popping off. Well, he popped off with that kill, I should say. Not fully, but he's looking good there at the start. Everyone kind of firing off immediately from Grave United side.
And honestly, Grave United with a very excellent start here, not even letting Validity get a foothold here on this hard point, which is definitely in a very open area, not really allowing for any safety at all. As you can see, both Huff and Dialef of Validity going out fairly quickly, but Billy and Jay are also going to be down and out momentarily. A couple shots coming in from the Haptic side, as Since is going to go down with that kill from Dialef. But if you see Validity, all 3 members were dead at one point. They did get a couple of points in on this hard point, and as they are in here in lobby, it's just getting even more intense as Validity, they are on the up and up, but not for too long, as Hardpoint is again being contested and going back to Grave United's possession.
Grave United just I found a way to break this hill masterfully. It feels like the gunny is hot to start off for them, but Huff potentially finds that kill. He does on Jay, but he gets dropped immediately. Dilly getting nice 3 that score. Actually, one of those was a team kill, but he did light up that scoreboard really quickly there, lining up all purple and getting a hold of that point. Now Validity looking for the rotation onto this P3. They say, hey, you know what? Let's chalk that P2, move on, forget about it. And United, again, getting those last few points of scrap. Validity set up nicely here on Kitchen.
That is true, and setting up in Kitchen Validity, they may be getting a bulk of the kills here on this new hard point, but if you notice, points-wise, not exactly doing too well, as Grave United is taking a majority bulk of those, and getting kills and trades back and forth, and as Validity is going up in points, unfortunately, those are going to be halted, as Grave United will be contesting here, but both Since and Dilly will be taken out, however, leaving only Grippy Slug to try and handle this as masterfully as possible. The shots coming in from Dialef, but that will not be enough, as Grave United just coming back with a slaughter on Validity right now.
Great Grippy Slug getting those nice kills. Grippy again, Nexy on the side of Grave United. He is looking solid, but Huff sees the gun pointing out of that little doorway from that side, and he gets that kill, getting these last few seconds of scrap time. Grave United already on the early rotation, headed for this P4, and they should have this potentially locked down. No, Grippy getting another nice kill there on Dialef. And really quick, let's just look at this scoreboard. Valley starting off 2-10, just got dropped there by Jay. And Jay looking solid, but he does miss those shots. Does not matter though. Grave United have the early hold. Dilly getting some nice kills to hold it that way.
And indeed, I mean, Grave United at this point, they are moving with such efficiency and such Titanfall movement that Validity can't even keep up with them at this point. I mean, with the hardpoint coming in and only 37 seconds left, you can tell both of these teams are going to want to chow for that hardpoint take. And as it's being contested, a lot of members are getting picks, trades back and forth since on a 5-time killing spree. Absolutely! A lot of members of Validity, including Dialeth and Haptic, unfortunately were not able to see that in time, putting Grave United up in terms of KD kills overall. And as you can tell, they are contesting this hardpoint yet again, but no member of Validity is going to be able to get on here as long as Since is down. But my God, it is just getting even worse for Validity, and they are going to want to catch up, as already Grave United putting themselves up by 109 points versus 31.
Yeah, Validity again on the early rotation, but right now it's all about getting this hold, which they have not proven to really be able to do so. Haptic should be able to find this kill. He doesn't actually, and Grippy comes right back over and actually finds it. He does get dropped there though, quickly by Huff. So Validity taking over this point again. Jay landed some shots, hopped on the point, did get dropped there by Huff. Huff on a 5 spree right now, and he has the potential to get streaks. He does not though. He does get dropped. And this point back to being contested. Dialeth gets dropped, and that means this point is going back to Grave United. Grave United absolutely playing beautifully when it comes to getting these breaks, since earlier in this map was on a 7 spree, which means he does have streaks saved up in case he needs them. Has just that nice little cruise missile in the back pocket. Dilly though getting an engagement, does not win it though. Haptic, but does not matter. Grave United getting more kills, basically just train that one out quickly. And they're on this early rotation yet again. And it's been hard for Validity to really find a break here when it comes to it. And even when they have that early rotation, they have not been able to get the hold. Grave United at a 90-point lead and climbing.
Indeed, and Grave United, it's like they are giving us a masterclass in exactly how to play hardpoint here on Hotel Breenberg, is no matter how many times Validity is trying to get on top of this control point, it's just not working. As Grave United, they see the rotations, they know exactly what Validity is setting up, and each and every time they are able to counter that. And with only 28 seconds left, Grave United are putting themselves in a very favorable position to just take this off the bat. And with 20 seconds left, and Since yet again on a killing spree, we are definitely going to see some kill streaks coming out, and Validity is going to be in danger of getting smacked dab right in the face with cruise missile after cruise missile.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh my God, just look at this kill dealt ratio since 19-5, and Jay landed some shots there nicely back on this early P1, and they are going to be on this rotation on the side of Grave United. And again, gonna be a hard retake, especially when your players are getting slayed out like that. Dialect though trying to get some kills, does not. Jay dropped him. And the Valley also going down. Valley, very poor start. 3-22. He needs to turn this around to give his team even a slight chance in what feels like a hopeless map 1. And Grippy getting some nice shots and Since as well. They are just frying right now, and I can't miss this. Dilly now on a 6. I was just about to point out he's on a 5. He does have Cruise as well, and Grave United just going absolutely massive here in this map 1. They are not letting their foot off the gas pedal, pretty much saying, "Hey, look, we might have forgotten to play match 1 in last week versus whoever they were playing. I can't even remember honestly, but you know they are just like, look, we are a top team here." And yeah, they forfeited that. Obviously, they have shown up here tonight, though, to say, look, if we didn't forfeit because we're bad, we just forfeited. Honestly, we might have just forgotten. Who knows?
And honestly, this is the equivalent of putting jet fuel in a car. As Grave United, they have not taken that pedal off the gas whatsoever. And even with this point being contested, you see that kill feed is absolutely lighting up purple, and majority purple as Validity. I mean, I understand they want the movement, they want the kills, but Grave United, I mean, they are essentially saying it's all about the timing, as they are just continually going up and up in points. I mean, Validity, yeah, they can get a few kills here and there, but Grave United, they just know exactly where they are. Dilly and Jay lighting up the kill feed just like that. However, the hard point has switched over in favor of Validity, and despite the fact they are getting points up in this situation, I have a very, very horrible feeling that Grave United is exactly that giant that just pretty much woke up. Validity poked it with a stick, and they're about to mess around and find out exactly what they're in for.
Yeah, and right now, just looking at that minimap, Grave United on the early setup on Kitchen, Huff will be found here by Grippy Slug on that pantry side. And Grippy getting a nice few kills. That's 4 down there for Validity. Gravy United getting the kills they need. That could potentially end it. Validity is spawning out. They have to run cross map here pretty much to have a chance. Huff going to get tagged up. Grippy does get that kill. And really quick, let's look at Sincere, the only guy watching this point right now. And he has the potential to really close this one out. Valley did try peeking it. Gets found. 5, 4, Dialab needs to make a move. He's gonna try it. And he gets the kill! He looked away at the worst time on the side of Synth. But Grippy coming around back. He might find a man. He does. Finds 2. Maybe finds it. He does, and that... Oh, I thought that was gonna end it. I didn't see Valley sneaking around the side of that pantry, but he does get the kill. Might not matter since hopping on it, and that will end it in what was a strong map 1 showing by Gravy United, taking that map 1 250 to 83. And man, just some of those players for Validity did not show up. I'm looking at Dialect and Valley. Those two could have played that so much better, and honestly, it might have just costed their team that crucial map 1.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, when it comes to this match, Grave United being Validity, and this is our first match of the day, right? I mean, Validity had every chance to be able to tie this up, but unfortunately, they just let it slip, and they gave such a huge lead to Grave United, which net them a 1-0 score already. And it's like we were talking about earlier, both of us have a feeling that Grave United might be able to take this either, 3-1, or maybe even 2-2. I have a feeling this could be our possible 3-0 sweep, as wildly as Grave United played here on Hardpoint and Hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, I wasn't expecting this out of the side of Grave United. Although I have casted for some of these guys. They have played in the U18 COD League, so I am familiar with them. But I gotta say, I was not expecting this level of a showing out of that map 1. And that was just absolutely dominant. If you're Validity, you have to bounce back. Both matches of yours, you've had a terrible map 1, obviously Imperial versus them. Imperial absolutely stomped them, and then here, kind of a similar showing. Grave United is pretty much saying, hey, look, we're here. We might have missed a match, our first match versus, I honestly can't remember who. Nola, it was Nola.
Yeah, it was Nola Flight.
But man, they have woken up here, and they look terrifying. I would not want to have to play them, and Validity is just caught in a bad situation.
Yeah, honestly, it's like at this point, Grave United just woke up and drank G Fuel spiked with God knows what can you get on this planet, right? Like, anything at this point, and Grave United, like, level with me, you know that one scene from Space Jam where they get the secret water, they drink it knowing it's full well it's a placebo, but that puts them ahead of the Monstars anyway? That is exactly what we are seeing right now, almost in Grave United. As Validity, I mean, you saw on Hotel Greenberg, with that being Hardpoint, no matter how many times they were able to defend it, it's like time and time again, I mean, they traded in movement rather than actual timing, and Grave United, they picked up on that, and they got the timing rather than just like the movement all over the place, and Validity, they just weren't able to come back from that. I mean, they lost a lot of leeway, and in that last moment, I have a feeling they would have been able to save that had they been a little cautious in kitchen with that. Like I said, timing, this is a keyword y'all are going to be hearing a lot, and Grave United, I mean, they pretty much just curb stomped them all over the place in that, no matter if it was like 250 versus 83 or even 250 versus 100, right? It was bad in terms of Validity, and Grave United got that in their favor, and with this next map being Hotel and this being S&D, I have a horrible feeling it might go the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this, it just didn't look like Validity had much thought when it came to positioning, pretty much. It just felt like they were just scrambling, trying to get on the point, and they weren't playing as a team, they were more playing individually, which is going to cost you when you're playing a team as talented as Grave United. You might be able to get away with it sometimes in some more of those minor leagues, but in the AWO, this is some of the top talent of some top challengers guys and some top U18ers as well. Obviously, these players are coming out of that U18 CDL season riding a nice little high, and man, it is just, if you are the side of Validity, you have to play significantly more as a team when it comes to this SND, and obviously onto that control map 3, because like you said, this SND could be extremely ugly. Grave United had the gunny, and obviously a lot of pretty much all what SND is positioning and slaying power, because if you catch a guy, you want to try and get that kill early. So you got to have good positioning and just the ability to win a gunfight, and it really didn't feel like Validity had that on their side here, especially when it came to, I want to say, Valley and Dialect. Those two just did not perform well in that hardpoint at all, and they need to step it up for their team to stand a chance here and not go down too well.
That is very true, and in Call of Duty, when it comes to teams, there are two things that will keep you together and alive when it comes to these situations within Amateur World League as well. It's cohesiveness and it's communication, and you need both of those to keep yourselves together like fine glue, like fine wine, right? And you can see kind of where communication sort of broke down in terms of Validity, but it was still sticking to a high point for Grave United because they were moving as a team. It's like you said before, Validity, they were kind of moving a little solo here, like it was just a random match and they were just playing with completely random people, and that is not exactly what you want to be doing in the AWL right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and here we go, loading into this map too. Again, on Hotel SND. Should be a great one. And man, I am looking forward to this. I just looked over at the chat, Valley put in the chat, bro, I am a substitute playing on a 4K TV on Hotel Wi-Fi. Look, that is unfortunate. But man, you need to step it up still.
Listen, I felt that in my soul. That is actually understandable, Valley, man. I am so sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, it looks like Valley could just get finished here. And the Grippy, yeah, he will find that quick one on Valley. And another one coming in there from, I want to say that was Jay, or since getting that kill. And that is a quick pour down there. Grave United starting off this round the same way they ended off that hard point. Just absolutely dominant. 4 kills, no deaths. My God.
But that has to be one of the fastest. There's no way. I'm sorry, did they just break another AWL record here, or am I seeing things here?
I don't know if it was that fast, but it's damn close. I will say that for sure. I think we'll have to go back.
Hold on, I gotta pull up a timer. There's no way.
Yeah, we might have to go back in the VOD to check that one, but it is definitely a close one. But man, Grave United just coming out flying there. And the Grippy Slug, again, just picking up right where he left off. Same with Sense, just having that gunny. And look at Huff. Huff will find one on Grippy. And Valley has the bomb. He is the man. But he gets gunned down while dolphin diving. Dilly with the sniper finds in a quick 2 kills, taking the life advantage. And he's throwing a little bit of a nade out here. Going to try and hopefully hit Dialab. Not going to hit anyone with it, though. And he's just watching it. There we go, though. Another kill coming through there. And that is another quick round for Grave United. Again, only dropping 1 life there. And they are just playing so dominant here early. Since gets that final kill of the round on Huff. And he is looking dialed in as well as everyone else on Grave United.
This is exceptionally dominant coming in from Grave United. I can only imagine what kind of match it would have been had they not forfeited against Nola Flight. I imagine that would have been possibly one of the wildest things, and they could have been able to take the W. But, you know, unfortunate circumstances can be unfortunate. But in this case, Grave United, 2-0 and already barely losing any lives. And like you said, we were going to have to go back into the VOD and see how quick that last match was, as that could have broken yet another AWL record, but Jay does get the snipe, as well as Grippy getting the kill on Huff. And Validity right now are not in a good situation, as they only have a few lives remaining. Unfortunately, that shot does not connect, but when it comes to Grippy Slug, that does connect, with Dialeth leaving the Haptic, the last one left alive.
Yeah, just y'all need to run around this pretty much, and he's caught in a difficult situation. Honestly, going to be a hope and a prayer to get this one. He's 0-2. This will be a huge turnaround, but it looks like Grippy going to see him first. But he does get that kill. That's 1 down. He was hitting his shots there. Grippy not so much. Since though, watching this doorway. And he should get found here, and he will. Since it does drop him. And a 3-0 lead going to Grave United. He got caught in a damn near impossible situation. Just, again, that positioning of Grave United coming in clutch. They were just watching pretty much every possible way he could get to this bomb site, and we're just ready for it.
And honestly, And honestly, with the tack, there was no way you were surviving any of those shots in the first place, even with Dead Silence activated. I mean, they were, like you said, they were watching every possible corner here on Hotel Greenberg, and Gravy United putting themselves in an exceptionally favorable position, already at 3-0 here on S&D, but Validity, they are on attacking, meaning Gravy United, they are going to have to play their hearts out on defense, or maybe not, as that is going to be one massive shot coming in from Jay, but Huff, unfortunately, does take out Grippy Slug just like that, meaning Grave United and Validity are in a situation, never mind, it's turned into a 3v2 situation, as Validity, they are still in possession of the bomb here, and I have a feeling we could either be going for a B site or an A site plant, but B site in kitchen looking very favorable right now for Validity.
Yeah, absolutely. They have the men over there, but Huff gets another kill on Dilly, and now it is a 1v3 for Jay, who does have the sniper, so this is going to be an extremely difficult take for him. Who knows, though? I guess anything is possible in the AWL. He will find one quickly there, holding down that hard scope, but now those comms should be coming through. They should be starting to look out for him, but no, they're just holding their angles. Jay potentially going to find one. If Valley does open this door, it could be a bad decision.
That is true. Jay is a man on a mission. That is yet another kill for Jay. Can we get a 3-fer? And unfortunately, just does not happen. But my God, those sniper shots absolutely nasty coming in. But Validity, they do keep themselves alive as they put themselves up by 1 point, but still at a 2-point deficit here. Yeah,
just they needed this round and they got it. Obviously, Jay, even with the sniper, getting some nice kills, but does eventually get dropped there by, I want to say it was Haptic, so that was absolutely huge for him, and that was needed. Jay is looking to basically hold down the sniper. He has been elite with it so far here. And Grippy, gonna have that bomb to start there. He looked to be going A side, which does appear to be their favorite site. I believe they've run it pretty much every time. Now Dialab, though, getting a quick kill. And I want to say, I think that's Dilly. He does get the kill with the sniper as well. So now it is a 3v3. It was a snipe versus snipe showdown, and Dilly did win that one. And he's trying to watch this this couch's angle, but he might get found here by Valley. No. Okay, I thought Valley had that window side shown. Apparently not. Huff does get the kill on Grippy, and Dilly gets dropped. Another 3v1 scenario, and Grave United drop that one again. Validity making it a little bit closer to even, taking yet another round to make it a 3-2.
And honestly, Validity, they're doing a pretty good job at being able to turn this around. As you can see, that kill feed lit up with absolute yellow. I mean, here we were expecting like trades purple and gold. No, just straight yellow. As Validity, they do save themselves once again, putting themselves at a 3-2 position. And you're right, we could see a 3-3 here in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what needs to happen for them to probably take this round and also have a real shot taking this map is Dialef and Valley. Obviously, Valley dealing with some internet issues, but they both need to step it up. They're the only members of their team playing at a negative right now, and they need to step it up if they want to really give their team a chance here. Dialef, watching this angle, I don't think he's going to be able to find anyone here. But Jay also has that little sniper pulled out. Valley watching dining room, and Dialef did just get dropped there, so that is him falling down to a 1-6 Valley. Pushing slowly up. He does have bomb. He should be going for this B side. I think Huff's trying to play as a little bit of a distraction. Try clearing it, but it does not seem to be working, honestly. It feels like Grave United. No, Grave United are now moving. Alright, so they are deciding to push away. They did take the bait, and honestly, if I'm Valley, I'm going for this plant as fast as possible while everyone is as far away from where you are. Obviously, he might not know it, but you gotta just get that plant down if you haven't seen anyone for that long.
Man, that is very true, but I would be very careful if I were Validity right now, as all it takes is one mishap. Grave United could get the read and realize, wait a minute, are we missing something here? Has there already been a plant? And with only 30 seconds left over here on B site, it is going to be very tricky, as a majority of Validity's players, being Valley, Huff, and Haptic, have hold themselves up here, but Grave United might be able to get the push, but for since it's not going to be the case, as Huff does get the kill, but Dilly does manage to take out Valley with that sniper shot, and going up here, I believe this could be yet another clean kill for Grippy. We're just going to have to see in a second, as Valley and Dialef are down and out for the count. The same goes for Huff and Haptic. And the defuse is going to go off with only a few seconds. Wait, what? Oh, wait! Maybe not! I stand
I thought they had
corrected.
time. Okay, maybe. Okay, I guess they did.
Okay.
I don't, I thought they might have had the time to get that defuse off. It appears not. So that will be Validity tying it up, taking 3 rounds straight there. And they have gotten a clicking finally. Obviously, still Valley and Dyla not playing the absolute best, but their teammates are picking up their slack here. And it is looking promising here. If you're on the side of Validity, Gravy Knight need to step it up. Those first 3 rounds, they only suffered, I believe, 2 deaths. And now they have suffered, well, let's say just quite a bit more. And that is not exactly what you need at the moment. Jay throwing out a little bit of a nade. Valley playing behind their hub. Gets that kill on a Jay. And he is, just playing solid 7 and 5. Pretty good map so far out of him. He does get dropped there, though, by Dilly. Dilly getting the nice headshot. And Valley, I think Dilly might have just saw him run through that door. Valley decided to basically regroup. And he's going to get picked off there. Just didn't check that side. Grippy came around at the same time as him. And he did get dropped there. Haptic landing some nice shots. Dilly gets it. And that is going to be a solid Grave United round. Retaking the lead 4-3.
And that is true. I mean, a 1-point deficit, and that's all that really matters is Validity. They're going to have to do everything in their power to be able to come back from this. But it is very, very tricky. As Grave United, I mean, they definitely managed to turn this around as we are switching sides here. This is going to get a little tricky. I'm kind of predicting a Grave United quick win here, but seeing how Validity has been playing these last couple of rounds, I mean, they could be able to get another point here and put this in a tie game.
Yeah, absolutely. These last few rounds, they have gotten clicking again on the side of Huff and Haptic. Haptic has slowed down a little bit. He was 3 and 3 now, now 3 and 5. But, any kills is good for them pretty much. Gripping it on. Read this, though, and he will get that kill behind Des. He is getting tagged up, though, and Dialect does find that kill. That is only Dialect's second kill of this map so far. So he has to step it up, but that is absolutely huge. He is getting this bomb pointed, but there are 2 down already for Validity, and this bomb is going to be down on A. Huff looking for the flank here, potentially on J. But no, he's actually not going to go for it. He should be able to find this one. He does. Maybe he'll find another, but they know exactly where he is, and honestly, at this point, I'd start hunting him like a dog here, pretty much. Jay has that sniper, I want to say. Dilly gets dropped. He did just shoot some bodies, I believe. I want to say he shot synths. And that is just, I don't know if that's the smart thing to do when pretty much Gravy Knight has been dominating so far.
And that is very true. I mean, Huff being the last one left alive. I mean, you can tell he's just being hunted down, or maybe not actually. Correction is Validity. It's like I predicted. They do manage to snag that extra point to keep themselves alive here. Grave United just did not see that coming. I mean, you saw Huff just came charging out of there, knew exactly where that was being planted, managed to get the kill, and secure, chances of Validity still being able to survive.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed that one big time. And yeah, obviously going down 5-3, not exactly what you would want. That is huge for them. Huff currently, I want to say that is, I believe 11 and 6, maybe 10 and 6. Mine is a little bit fuzzy over here, but you're looking pretty solid here. 2-star Synth does pick up that bomb, and Huff has that sniper out, looking to potentially find that kill. And he will find one quickly on Dilly. So that is a first blood going in the way of Validity. Absolutely massive for them. And yeah, I think someone used their streak there. And that was an absolute, sadly, a waste.
Yeah, waste indeed. I mean, you can tell it didn't exactly take anybody out just yet. And Grave United in a bit of a interesting position here. I mean, you can tell Validity, they're going to be hard keeping this for sure. I mean, with Grave United on attacking, we've seen time and time again, they have proven to be exceptionally excellent on attacking side here in SND. I think, Grippy, that's a dead body, man. I'm not so sure that one's alive, but you know what? We're just gonna ignore that, as Grave United and Validity are going to be putting themselves in an equal 3v3 situation. Correction, make that 3v2. We are getting some bad manners moves coming in from players on Grave United. Valley and Huff being the down and out. Haptic and Dialeth being the last ones left alive, turning this into a 2v2 situation. The defuse coming in from Haptic. I believe he might be able to get this off. Never mind, as Grave United will be able to take this 5-4.
Yeah, just absolutely solid play there by Grave United. Grippy getting that kill that was needed, obviously, on Dialeth. Dialeth not looking the greatest, and some body shots were coming through there from Grippy before that round ended. And now it is map point here for the side of Grave United. If they get this, they do take it in a 2-0 lead over Validity heading into that control. This is crucial for Validity to win. You need to get this to a potential map 4. And just, go one round at a time here.
Yeah, exceptionally crucial indeed. I mean, Validity, you can tell they're going to be doing everything in their power to keep themselves alive here, to keep themselves in the running and not give Grave United that lead that they so desperately want. I mean, you can tell both of these teams are going to be thirsting after this win, and already Validity off to an exceptional start. The bomb has been planted, and both Valley and Haptic, unfortunately, going to be picked off by Grave United as Dilly, is down and out. That's one of their top snipers on that team as well. You got to remember, but running out that door, Huff is going to be met with a face full of ammunition, and already Dialeth is going to be the last one left alive here. Only 24 seconds on this clock as Validity, their chances of being able to win this are looking slimmer and slimmer. Some friendly fire going off here from Grave United, meaning that Jay is going to be down and out, but the defuse will be going off, and Validity, I don't think this is going in their favor whatsoever, and that will be it as yet more friendly fire. I think that was definitely some bad manners coming in, and Grave United will take match point, putting them at 6-4 and giving them that 2-0 lead.
Yeah, absolutely solid play out of Grave United. They did get a little bit close there though with Validity. Obviously, Validity having scored 3 rounds unanswered, and that is extremely tough for Grave United. But Grave United had that rebound, took the crucial rounds when needed. And that is absolutely massive, taking a 2-0 lead over Validity, heading into a control, which so far, as we've seen on the respawn, at least when it came to that hard point, they looked extremely good. So going into this control, I have to assume Grave United come out firing. They looked solid on that SND. I think they could have looked a little bit better, but I'm not going to nitpick here. That is going to be a nice 2-0 lead, and it's heading into another hotel. So pretty much it is actually 3 straight maps of hotel. I'm not the biggest fan of that personally, as I've said before. I like diversity in my map picks and map pools, but you know what? This could be interesting. Obviously, Grave United dominated that map 1. Played a little bit close on that SND. It looked like they were going to dominate early, kind of let Validity back in, but still looked solid to close it out. And now heading on to another respawn with control could be huge for them. Like I said, looked absolutely phenomenal in that hard point. And if they keep that up, I expect this to be a swift 3-0 in favor of Grave United. Maybe Validity has the magic in their back pocket. Who knows?
Yeah, extremely phenomenal. I mean, Validity, they could have a chance to be able to come back from this. I mean, you saw in the last map, they did manage to save themselves a little bit here, but unfortunately was just not enough for them. And I imagine there is a lot of frustration on their side happening right now, which is definitely understandable. But they're going to need to be able to kick things up in this next map if they have any chance at being able to maybe come back from a 2-0 deficit, maybe put this at 2-1 or even 2-2, because right now, everything is leaning into Grave United's favor when it comes to this qualifiers match.
Definitely. I mean, like I said, Validity just haven't looked solid. That starts with their player Valley has just not done well at all. I want to say he got 6 or 7 kills in map 1, which that's rough. That's extremely rough when it's a respawn where your lives aren't limited. And he was just basically throwing himself there and just kept getting dropped. And then obviously Dialeth as well, needing to step it up. He did in that SND. He looked a little bit better, especially towards the end. But man, you need, if you're the side of Validity, you need all 4 of your guys to be firing, because right now Grave United is rolling, especially in that respawn from that map 1. They were on fire and they ended off map 2 kind of looking similar. So I'd be a little bit worried if I'm Validity, and definitely looking for a quick bounce back.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, bounce back. They are actually going to have to make a major one and make it a miracle indeed, right? Because 2-0, I mean, Grave United, I have a horrible, awful feeling. I keep saying this over and over again, but it's true that they might get curbed. Like, I don't want to say curbs, not maybe just rolled over, just slightly. I don't want to be too intense here and be a little too mean because I know Validity circumstances. I mean, you have one player that is playing on hotel Wi-Fi, which that is a understandable and fresh kind of pain. Yeah. That is a whole ass mood, and I am so sorry. So, circumstance-wise, it is 100% understandable, and hey, it absolutely happens. I mean, but at the same time, you're just going to have to make it work, and with Validity against Grave United, I mean, it's kind of looking one-sided here, and I hate to say that, but as fast as efficiently as Grave United has been playing, I mean, tonight might be their night where they could be able to secure themselves a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, definitely could secure a 3-0 sweep, and that will be, you know, being decided on this map 3, which is getting started like momentarily. We should be loading in any second now. So yeah, it's ready apparently. So, you know, this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It is a nice hotel control. Yeah, this should be a great one. Obviously 3 straight hotels. Let's get it.
Yeah, and honestly, Hotel Greenberg, not exactly a good site to vacation. I mean, you can tell it's been transformed into an absolute horrendous war zone. But when it comes to both of these teams, I imagine there has to be collective size in everybody's room right now. As much of Hotel as we have seen tonight and on these past couple of weeks, I mean, already, I have a feeling we might be seeing a lot of teams veto this and maybe not seeing Hotel at all next week.
No, I will disagree on that one just because Hotel is such a big map in MW2, it feels, especially for these respawns. But alright, that does see Grippy, and that's a quick kill. I just see those pop up. Haptic and Huff getting some kills. I'm not sure if Huff was going for body shots or what. I think he was just seeing Billy, I want to say. Was landing some shots. Since almost got the kill on Huff, but did get headshotted. And Jay, I thought he was going to get that kill. Look, Validity. Getting some early kills going their way. Dialect and Huff looking solid early out the gate, as well as Haptic, obviously. Nice 2-0. Grave United actually look like they're getting outclassed here to start. I'm expecting a turnaround, but solid start for Validity in what they needed. Haptic on a nice 3 streak as well as Haptic. As well as Huff.
Man, solid start. This is a great start for Validity. I mean, both Dilith and Valley are down, but Haptic with the killing spree, the double kill on Jay before that is unfortunately ended all little too soon. I mean, Grave United, they are on the comeback a little bit here, but it looks like Validity, they're getting the jump on them in terms of movement, in terms of timing. But Grave United, they are being able to see that and pick them off one by one. As you can tell, Dilith, Valley, and Huff going down and out momentarily here, trying to be able to get Grave United off progress at A site here, but Haptic going in for a couple of clean kills before that is ended all too soon by Since.
Yeah, and that will be A side down, which will give them an extra minute. So now roughly a minute and a half to work with on the side of Grave United. Since on a 4 streak right now, 2 away from streaks, but he does get dropped there by Haptic. Damn the caster curse, and some nice kills coming in on the side of Grave United. 3 down there on the side of Validity. And Grave United quick on this point. And they're just getting some much need. They almost have half a takedown. Obviously, that won't be saved until they get a full one. But they are back on it. Jay looks to get at least 1 down, which he will. Progress has officially been made at B. And Jay getting some nice kills. He's getting out before it gets dropped. And his teammate Grippy does pick that one up for him, basically saving his life, as I believe Jay would have been caught and killed right there. But yeah, now he's just playing this point. This should honestly be down pretty much, unless Dialect gets something going, which he looks like he should be trying, but he does not. And honestly, if I am Grave United, I'm just going to stack this point. Just take it. No reason to sacrifice some time. But doesn't matter, actually. Validity getting some much-needed kills. That's a nice 3 down there for them. And you need to hop on this point, in my opinion. You need to try clearing this practically full final tick, which is exactly what Dialect is doing. Dialect 7-5, really picking it up. And Jay, 4-6 on the side of Grave United. Not at all what he wants to be, but 6-2 life count favoring Grave United. Puts them heavily into the favor. Make it 6-1, and that will be it. Grippy gets that final kill and does get some body shots. Grave United taking a nice 1-0 round count over Validity.
Man, you have to remember, Golden, when it's with us, I feel as if it's not just the caster curse, it's the Las Vegas caster curse, and that is one of the most horrendous things that could possibly happen to any team trying to win in these games, in this league. But you know what? It makes for some spice. It adds that extra drama to it. I mean, Grave United, that was a nail-biter of a match we just saw there. I mean, round, I should say. And Validity, I mean, you can tell a couple of times they were on the up and up, but Grave United just kept shutting it down and shutting it down time and time and time again. But I have a feeling, I mean, Validity, it could go in their favor, but I don't want to say that because that caster curse, as you saw just a few minutes ago, is very, very real. But Jay does start this off with first blood against Valley. That grenade kill being extra smooth there, just like butter. But Grippy will be able to get that double kill. The same with Dilly, but Valley is going to be able to pick both of them off. Grippy and Dilly in the kill feed appearing once again, with Valley getting those good kills and already control over at B site. And Dialeth managing to take out yet another member of Grave United, being Jay. Since is going to be picked off yet again as this kill feed is lighting up purple and gold, and Valley is making some good progress here at B site, but I have a feeling this could end very soon if Grave United gets a whiff of this, and it will, as they will run onto this control point. As you can tell, my brain is turning into mush because of the absolute chaos that is going on, especially coming in from Validity. But Dilly does manage to get a revenge kill here on Dialeth as B site, the defense is going up like crazy. Grave United and Validity are just in the trade killing of their lifetime right now, and A site is actually going to go into the control of Validity as well.
Yeah, now they're playing both sides here pretty much. They're forcing Grave United to either pick a side or split apart. And it looks like right now, I want to say number 2, Jay, looking to potentially make a play over here on a B side. But he won't get he will actually get some of those kills. He did get dropped there, so B side will be gone. And Validity on this A as well, looking to potentially get this one down. Some key kills going in their way. They have a 4 life advantage, and it looks like Haptic should be able to get this one. They're holding it down. Last second, no! And Validity will tie up that round count at a nice 1-1 in what was a very strong attack, showing pretty strong bounce back as well. Grave United, when they were on attack, looked borderline unbeatable, and Validity said, no, we can do the same thing. Everything you can do, I can do better, pretty much, on that control, and that was pretty solid.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you is essentially what Validity said on that last round, putting themselves in a 1-1 situation and looking very fair. I mean, the caster curse kind of didn't exactly work there, but it worked in their favor way against Grave United. As Grave United, they were looking very powerful on that comeback, but Validity just pretty much trashed that scorecard, trashed any prediction that we had, and put themselves up by 1 point. But Since does get the first blood, but Haptic does get that trade off and manages to take out Since just like that. Killfeed lighting up once again like a Christmas tree, but Grave United will be able to cap this first control point as Validity will be trying to come in, but are picked off one by one. But Haptic does get that killing spree, but unfortunately the streak is going to end a little too early for them to be able to get any effect in with the kill streak.
Yeah, just the Grippy getting those crucial kills I needed, and now there are 2 takes down there at A, and this A site should be pretty much done. Now it's all about defending B if you're the side of Validity. You just gotta get a nice hold here, and it looks like they're trying to set up a good positioning here, but Dialeth honestly pushing out a little bit. And I'm not sure if that's going to work. He is playing pretty far away from his team. He's looking for the potential flank, though. And he will find one on Since. Now, number 3, Grippy, will actually get that kill on him. So he actually does prevent that flank. But, you know, the damage is coming in a little bit. The kills favoring of Grave United, and Grippy on a 5k. He is going to get tagged up, though, there, and gets dropped before he could get that 6th. Huff gets a nice kill there on Since.
Oh, my God.
And I thought he might have a chance at that one from Jay, but no, he was just too weak, and Jay gets that kill. If I'm Jay, try and get on this hill, get time a little bit, and just stop the clock pretty much. Obviously, you have plenty of time to slay out, and as the kills are going in their favor, most definitely. Jay does get dropped there by Huff. Pretty much been a back and forth on the kills, but I want to say Grippy was on that point, but he did get dropped there by Haptic. And yeah, I mean, just kills going back and forth, pretty much being traded in and out. Validity not letting Grave United hop on this point.
And indeed, I mean, Grave United, they did manage to cap A site, but when it comes to B, it's been an absolute contest of a lifetime. But as you can tell, Sins and Jay are going to say, yeah, no, you remember us, right? You remember, you want to watch us take this over all over again? You want to watch us do it again and again? As Grave United, they are back on the up and up, getting some major progress in, and Validity, I mean, sure, they're coming in with the timing, but Grave United, they're getting the reads, but Huff Dialeth getting those double kills in, but unfortunately, Huff is going to go down and out, but Valley does manage to get revenge for their teammate as Validity are on B site right now, but Grave United, it looks like they will be taking control over that once again, trying to capture, trying to set up a defense, but Huff and Dialeth are reading them like a book. They are able to calculate wherever they're going to route, wherever they are going to rotate, and it will be the end of their tracks. But Grave United, they're doing everything in their power, and no respawns remaining for Valley, and this is going to be exceptionally tricky. Only 27 seconds left before either of these teams can try to capture Zone B, but Huff reads that. He gets the double kill. The same goes for Haptic and Dialeth, and I believe this could be a comeback. I could be wrong. The caster curse could be very real as Grave United, they want to try and make a comeback. I know they do. The same goes for Validity. Both of these teams are thirsting for it. They are hungry for at least a little bit of victory. Huff and Dialeth taking out Sins and Jay just like that. No respawns remaining for grab, and this is getting even worse. But control point, I think this could be Validity's win. I think this could go to them. Only 2 seconds left. Could we actually cap it off? Could we see it? It's getting contested. Validity took this and they put themselves up by 1 point, putting them in the lead.
Okay, I want to say that life count was like 11-4, and Validity just got the hold of a lifetime they needed. They just got all the kills. They had that set up, and that worked perfectly. They take the nice 2-1 round count over Grave United, and what honestly was a shocker. I was expecting Grave United to take that one. Validity really haven't shown up with the kills all day, but now when they needed it most, they pulled through, and man, that was electric, and they just took that lead, and that is absolutely massive. Going on to this round 4, they are gonna need, honestly, I'd say just close it out here if you can. Try to avoid that round 5, and Huff getting a nice 2 kills to start out, basically having that mentality of, guys, we just gotta close this out as fast as possible, don't even want to worry about it. And yeah, Validity, two players already on B, make that 3, my apologies. And this point is getting captured quickly since laid in some shots on Valley, but it looks like they're just already saying, hey, you know what, give up on it maybe, just move A site. And then why would you hop off if you are Valley? You don't have B down. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
You just
Valley, no!
gave up that 6 that you were right there from. Oh my god. Oh,
I can't believe I'm saying this. Did we just witness Validity almost pull a C9? Is that, oh my god. That could have gone so south so fast.
You can't, okay. Valley, look, man, I get you have bad. I get your internet is hotel Wi-Fi right now. That is just a bad game time decision. Like, you just can't do that. I'm sorry. I don't want to make it seem like I'm shitting on you, but Huff gets back on this B side, does get killed though, and just the dial-up getting the kills they need though.
Oh my god!
And now they're gonna hop on this B side, and now Grave United pretty much just chalking and move over to this A. And it all comes down to this pretty much. If you're on the side of Validity, you want this round to go your way. You want to avoid that round 5. But the life count's still in favor of Grave United. Granted, not something Validity hasn't seen before. Validity was down earlier. And then, oh man, Grippy gets a nice kill there. Valley, oh, I thought he was going to get killed right there by Jay. But no, he does get it, but does eventually get dropped there by Grippy. Grippy was on a 3K, did just get dropped. And Grave United making this a hard take for Validity, but they are going to hop on this point, plant a trophy, and just a bunch of kills going in their favor. That is a 3 down there on the side of Grave United, and Validity have all 4 members on this point. Pretty much going to have to be a strong push here, and it won't come through. Validity take map 3, and what was honestly a shocking fashion. I was worried that B site decision by Valley could come back and bite them in the ass. It did not, and they got lucky there. But man, what happened on that A site there was not luck. That was pure skill, just getting the slaying that they needed, and that is beautiful. Valley still 13-24, but the rest of that team, they have finally turned it on, and that is beautiful. 2-1 at Gravy United, but Validity did just take what is a crucial map 3 to extend this series onto a map 4 hardpoint.
We're getting closer and closer to the possibility of Validity being able to get an insane comeback and put themselves in a 2-2 spot.
No,
this is...
I can't.
Is my mic muted? Oh no.
My headset messed up. I'm good.
Oh, okay. That scared me. Do not scare me like that again. But they are putting themselves in a very favorable spot to be able to hit a 2-2 play right now. I mean, I was so scared for like Validity that last match because they almost whiffed it on B a little bit. I thought we were witnessing yet another C9 happen in Call of Duty, but as you can tell, they managed to take Hotel on control, meaning we are moving straight into Embassy, being hardpoint. And as you can tell, Grave United are very exceptional in this type of mode, you know, being hardpoint. But when it comes to a new map like Embassy, I'm not exactly familiar with how they are going to be able to play on that, but seeing their last couple of plays, this could yet again be another back and forth between Grave United and Validity. But seeing how Validity played last time and how much strength that managed to come out of them in those last couple of seconds, those last couple of plays on control, I mean, this could be their night tonight.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, hey, you know what, maybe they turn this one around. Obviously, it will be a reverse sweep if they do, and it obviously started with that control and now moves on to this Embassy hardpoint. And real quick, I just want to recap, that map 1 hardpoint, though, by Grave United was so dominant. I'm still nervous for Validity because of that, because it was, what, a 250 to 83, I want to say, in favor of Grave United. And I mean, if Validity really wants to stand a chance, you know, you gotta... They have shown that they have the slaying ability as a team. Obviously, Valley not looking the best. But, I mean, Grave United looking probably a very solid. Valley not looking the best. And just, brutal. But yeah, really quick, we are going to be sending this one off into intermission. And when we get back, we should be getting ready for this map 4. Alright, and we are back from that break, ladies and gentlemen. And after what was a very solid map 3 from Validity, which was led by our featured player in Haptic, honestly, just played absolutely, just very solid, I should say. I was going to say absolutely flawlessly, I wouldn't go that far, but very solid, and led the charge pretty much for his team on that control. He had that slaying ability that they desperately needed, and that came up huge for them here in what was a strong map 3. And honestly, map 2, the tables had slightly been turning in their favor, and map 3 really started to show. And now looking ahead, we have that Embassy hardpoint coming up, which hardpoint map 1 was dominated by Grave United, but it really does feel like momentum might be shifting over to Validity here. And honestly, I sure hope so, because I kind of want to see a nice map 5. Asher, this has been fantastic, and I'm looking forward to this map 4. What about you?
Honestly, you can tell that there is something in the air. The tides are turning. I mean, the winds are changing. They're shifting. And as we move on to Embassy, and as much as I don't want to say anything to favor one team, because the caster curse, especially our duo caster curse, is very, very real. But Validity, I mean, it's like you said before, not only are they turning us in their favor, the tables kind of like turned a little bit. I mean, in that last match, they pretty much flipped the table, stood upon it, and said, listen, that's not how this is gonna go. We are going to be able to win this. You guys are going to sit by and you are going to watch as we absolutely clean the floor with y'all. And that is exactly what they did in that last game on Hotel.
Yeah, that map 3 was so strong, especially in those later rounds by Validity. But oh my god, Grave United coming out quick, getting a nice 3 down, and hopping on this point quickly. Grippy, aka Nexty, gonna be hopping on here, but kind of just out in the open. He does get dropped there by Dialect, but Dilly does get the trade for his teammate. Dilly gets another one. I was not expecting him to get that one on Huff, but he does. And since absolutely frying as well, the kills coming through early for Grave United. And now it's all about getting on this hill. Obviously, P1, not necessarily the biggest thing when it comes to time, but it can be crucial nonetheless. It looks like everyone's focused, though, on this P2, which Validity does look to be set up on early. The kill's going in Validity's favor now. Dialef on a nice 3 streak.
I mean, you might as well change Grippy Slug's name to Gorilla Grippy, as much strength as they came out with off the bat in the beginning of this game. And the kill feed yet again is lighting up purple and gold. You just might as well call this Lakers all over. But Grave United, they're getting kills in left and right. But the hard point is going to go in favor of Validity right now, but not for long, as Grave United will be able to kill their defense, leaving Huff to try and clean this up. But very unfortunate, as Grippy just finds Huff and takes him out like that, since getting a double kill here on Haptic and Dialef. This is looking like a very favorable game when it comes to Grave United, as they are not even giving Validity room to breathe here. And Dilly taking out Huff with a very clean headshot, and yet again coming in and getting the pick on the Valley.
Yeah, absolutely, but Haptic did get a nice kill there, and now has moved on to this next point. Dialect!
Oh my god!
2 kills there on Sims and Dilly. Huff getting another one, and that is 4 down now, favoring Validity here, while moving on to this next point. This is absolutely crucial. Haptic, our player of the match, the early one on it, and Dialect, he does engage, and he does get Sims. Huff finds the J as well. And now time going in favor of Validity, but that kill does come through. Actually, 2 onside on favor of Grave United, 3. And man, now the kills have just absolutely shifted back over. And this has been a back and forth hard point so far up to this point. The Grave United just having the gunny at the moment, but okay, Dialef looking solid, 11 and 6. He has been dominant so far here for his team and has been keeping them in it pretty much with the gunny, but he just gets pinched there. And that these last 15 seconds or so should likely be going to Grave United as Validity look for the rotation.
I mean, you can tell Validity, they're not down and out just yet, as they are picking up points like candy right now. I mean, 27 is actually not too bad, but when it comes to Grave United, the last thing you want is for them to be able to run away with this. As Validity, they do net a couple of kills, but this next hard point is going to be contested off the bat automatically here in administration, and Grave United will win that chow and will be able to take this hard point for themselves right right now, but Haptic does manage to get the flank off a couple members, including Jay and Sins, getting the double kill, proving exactly why he is our highlighted player of tonight. Huff and Valley getting those kills as well before Valley does go out, unfortunately. I mean, hey, it happens. And Validity, they're going to retake this hard point, putting themselves by almost 40 points, and Grave United stuck at 71 as they're going to try and clean up this defense here, but Validity will be the ones to keep it up and keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. Validity just getting the kills they needed. Those were multiple, I want to say 3 or 4 downs there going against Grave United. But man, just Dilly still looking solid, as well as Grippy. The only player who hasn't looked like great is Jay on the side of them. But man, the kills are still coming through. Dilly thought that his teammate had that one. He did not. Dilly, I thought he was going to get that second one on Dialect, but no, Dialect does get it. And now you have to break onto this kitchen hard point. And the kills do come through for Grave United. They will be getting a few seconds here uncontested pretty much after what were some early kills on this new point.
And honestly, contested indeed. I mean, Grave United, they're almost being able to run away with this as they are very close to hitting 100 points, and Validity will be put in a very unfavorable and bad position. I mean, they need to do everything they can to be able to get back onto this hard point here in Embassy, but right now, Grave United, they're going to be able to take this and get this capture point, netting themselves 102 points, and with only 22 seconds left, I mean, you can tell Dilly is just picking off Validity one by one. Actually, correction, as Valley does come in and manage to take out Dilly, putting Validity on this hard point, but then again, it keeps switching back and forth, and Grave United, I mean, both of these teams are absolutely thirsting for this hard point as it remains empty, as both of them deciding it's better off to move to the new one, going into Validity off the bat, as they do net a couple of kills here for themselves and are at 65, but then again, it keeps going, like I say, back and forth, but Grave United, they're not in a very good position right now, getting naded and gunned down immediately by Dialef and Huff. Valley taking out himself, but in this top window, I mean, automatically spotted. Since does get the double on Huffs, and Dialef make that a triple on the Haptic, but Valley does get the trade before getting picked off himself, leaving this an empty hard point, nobody taking points, and both trying to contest this.
Yeah, just some absolutely solid kills coming from both squads there, but now it has been going into the favor of Grave United. Huff did accidentally just drop his own teammate, Valley, but Jay on this point, and some other kills going in Grave United's favor as they move on to this next point on this P2. And Grippy does pull out that dead silence. And are they going to hear him coming? Obviously not. Huff gets dropped with that melee. Grippy 18 and 13 looking solid here to start. And they have a 50-point lead over Validity here. And that seems to only be growing on this P2 as Jay being the man to hold it down. He does get dropped there, though, by Huff before Dilly gets a nice two-piece of his own on Huff and Dialef. But the kills, again, just constant back and forth. It feels like two constantly dropping on both. Valley gets a 3K. That is huge for him. And now it's all about hopping on this hill, getting as much time as possible. Being down 60 is not the best position, but they are chipping away at it here slowly. And that is exactly what you want. Dialect does get a kill there on Dilly. And this hill continues to take in favor of Validity. And they could potentially make this down to about a 35-point round hill going on to this P3 if they get a nice hold here, which they did not exactly get. So still about 44, but, you know, that's what you take. Still very solid out of them. And now heading on to this P3, it's all about this push.
I mean, with those last couple of kills, Valley is proving that the hotel Wi-Fi does not control him. He controls the hotel Wi-Fi. As Validity, they yet again get onto this hard point, but not for long as Grave United, I mean, including Dilly and Grippy leading the charge here, putting themselves up by 154 and counting. I mean, at 99 Validity, that's all they need to be able to possibly come back from this. They need to charge in. They need to be able to take this, but no matter how many times they try, Grave United always gets the read, but Huff does get the double kill before he himself goes down and out, but the hard point is going back into control of Validity, and it's like I said, now that they've crossed the 100-point threshold, it is only a matter of time before it's possible they could be able to come back from this and put us in a 2-2 situation.
Yeah, potentially. Obviously, they're still down by about 49 points, but heading on to this P4, it is going to be absolutely crucial as to how they get this hold, if they get this hold, let's say. But the early rotation does go in favor of Grave United, but Valley does get a kill before getting dropped himself by Dilly, but the point capture is in for Validity, and they are getting some much needed time going in their favor since getting some shots in though. And oh, Haptic does get the kill. I wasn't sure if he was going to find it. He does. Haptic land in some more shots, and now it is a 30-point lead for Grave United, which is getting taken away here. But the kills did just come through in their favor. Valley does get dropped there. But oh my god, it is just a back and forth tug of war here pretty much when it comes to that kill feed. Obviously, time so far throughout the match has been favoring Grave United, but honestly, again, like how it was earlier on throughout the maps, it feels like Validity has slowly been turning the tables to favor them, and now we're only down by about, 10 seconds? And heading on to this next point, this could be absolutely huge, although Grave United do have that early rotation, having about 3 people set up nearby, one on it, of course, with Since going to be the first man to engage it. Dilly gets in a gunfight. Dilly does win it, and that is going to be absolutely huge. 2 down there for the side of Validity. Valley looking for a potential push. And oh my god, what is he doing? He just missed so many shots with that MP5, and oh, that is just so unfortunate for him. Haptic, though, does get a kill, but that is precious time being taken away from them right now for Grave United to just continue building up this lead that they had lost earlier. They're getting it back now, though.
I mean, you can tell somebody's keyboard or controller was probably smashing at that exact moment. I mean, with the spray coming in from Valley, unfortunately, just wasn't enough, as barely any of those shots connected with their intended target and gave Grave United a very big lead here at 210 points. All they need is a few more minutes, and they will be able to pretty much take this entire qualifiers day and beat Validity. I mean, this is getting intense. This is getting so tricky. It's turning into an absolute nail-biter as a new hardpoint will be coming in, and the body shots coming in, the BM, the bad manners, as we move over here in the courtyard, and that is going to be a double kill secured for Grippy here on both Dialef and Huff, but Haptic does manage to take out Dilly before Grippy coming in with a triple on Haptic, and Validity, I mean, oh man, you know what, this BM, somebody needs therapy. This is getting a little,
I gotta say, when it comes to that, I'm not a big fan of that right now, because it's not like his team is like winning by a massive amount like they were in map 1 hardpoint, where it makes sense, like, we'll disrespect them. It's still a close match.
Yeah, bro, you gotta focus. And, like, you need to kick it into gear.
You don't do that. He was going for the body shots when he could have gotten precious time for his team. Obviously, they have a 60 point lead, which is about a full hill time and a little bit extra. But man, I'm not the biggest fan of that in that type of situation. But look, Validity need this early rotation on this P-through as we head into our after we are already in our 3rd set of rotations, I should say. And yeah, Validity need this. They aren't going to hop on it immediately, though. That is going to go to Grave United. Valley going to try and find a kill, but he will get dropped. And the kills are coming through for Grave United, which could potentially end it here. About 18 seconds left. Needed to take this map 4 and take the series in a 3-1 fashion. Grippy, why aren't you playing the point, man? I'm sorry. I just...
Oh, man.
Do that, please. But man, just some nice kills coming through, and that potentially should do it. Last second push coming here from Validity. They do actually find a kill. They need to hop on this point. Dilly also goes down to Valley. Gonna be the man to hop on it. And he's not on the point. He's just off of it, not getting any time for his team. But oh, he does get dropped there. And that will do it, I believe. Grave United going to take this 250 to 161 and take the series in a clean 3-1 fashion. You know, it looked like Validity had that potential comeback performance. They played solid on this hardpoint aside from a few mishaps. But, I mean, man, I was rooting for that map 5. Validity looked like they were heating up towards the end here. And, I mean, you know, it happens. Just unfortunate. One of the players for Validity did leave. I want to say that might have been Valley. But yeah, that's tough. Grave United take the W in a nice and clean 3-2-1 fashion. And I mean, just pretty much it played solid throughout that map 1. Really set the tone for how they were hoping to play this. They didn't fully live up to it, but man, Grave United, when they're hot like they were on that map 1, they might be unstoppable. Yeah, it clearly showed that Validity did start trying to form a comeback. 6-4 in that SND. It was a 3-1 in their favor in that control. And they played close throughout that map 4 hardpoint, but sadly weren't able to get it done. Grave United looking like I wouldn't say a top team, but you know, definitely gonna be in the top 6 of these teams here. Looking solid throughout so far, and you absolutely love to see it. I mean, just wow.
Yeah, at this point, Gravy United, they're looking like one of our teams to watch out for here in AWL. I mean, that last map, Validity, you could tell they had the chance to be able to make that comeback. They could have won it. I mean, in the end, they kind of whiffed it a little bit. And I can't even begin to imagine the frustration that must be going through their heads right now as they're thinking, what could we have done better to be able to fix this, to be able to turn this in our favor? But as you can tell, Gravy United, they took this in a clean and exceptional fashion here at 3-1 to end this series and put themselves up by a lot. Let's just say, at least let's just say that.
Yeah, they absolutely played solid throughout, but that will do it for this match. Obviously, match 1 of our doubleheader tonight. I am going to be heading out here shortly. I just want to say thank you, Asherbach, for joining me on this duocast. We have to come up with a title for our duocast.
Yeah, honestly.
We both are from Vegas. Like, we got to figure this out. Definitely going to brainstorm some ideas. But yeah, I'm going to skedaddle. This was an absolutely amazing match. And yeah, see you guys later. Peace out, y'all. And congrats to Gravy United.
Oh, wow, we are actually live. Well, ain't that a surprise? Hello, my name is Asher, and welcome to the AWL 2023 Gorilla Major 1 qualifiers. Now, if you're just joining us, we have a bit of a caster change here. I am now here with Kamika. Oh, wait, wrong, so hold on. Kamika, there we go. I had to flip my camera to make sure that was fine. And yeah, honestly, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing just fine as well. I mean, I always mess up with what side of the camera I'm on. I did it right this time. It's years and years of practice, but yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you guys were not here for map number one, I'll do game number one. We haven't done any maps yet, but game number one, I'm just going to do a quick recap. It was Validity, and they started to get a little bit better. I must say that they had a vast improvement from their first game of the season, so we're already starting to see teams improve over the course of the season. And we're going to need to see that in this game here as well, Ash, as Myst is coming off of a loss in their first game up to an undefeated Vizion who beat Dynamics really bad.
No, honestly, we need to talk about Vizion versus Dynamics, right? And how wild of a match that absolutely was. They set not one, not two, but 3 separate AWL records, including quickest S&D round time at 14 seconds, quickest control round at 1 minute and 14 seconds, and the largest hardpoint victory in AWL history at 250 versus 39 points overall, meaning that Myst is going to have to put this at a standstill and set a point to try and beat Vizion at their own game. But moving on to maps and modes here. Oh my god, we're starting off with Hotel again, aren't we? I hate it here.
I swear we were doing Fortress. I swear we were.
Unless this is the wrong map, I am tired. I want to go home.
I'll get confirmation on that from Alzo in just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, if it is going to Hotel, yes, no, I was correct. See, I pay attention in the pre-game shows. But yeah, it's going to be Fortress starting things off. This is going to be a lot, well, it's a lot like Hotel, but it's a lot more to the end of the spectrum where you got to be doing your rotations. Otherwise, you're going to be straight out of luck, especially on hills like P3. This hill, if you're just a lot better at hardpoint, you're a lot better at rotating than your opponents, then you are going to have a great time, and you're going to be seeing a skill gap.
That is very true, and we have different maps, including Fortress, El Asilo, and Hotel, which we've seen plenty of Hotel in that first game, that is for sure. But when it comes to maps like Fortress and El Asilo, you do have a lot of points where you can contest, where you can chow. But beginning with Fortress and on hardpoint, I mean, this is going to be very interesting, as a lot of the placements for hardpoint we've seen, whether it be within Armory or within Courtyard, have all been challenged so much and so consistently that not a single team has been able to hold one, for at least more than maybe 20, maybe 10 seconds, as you just get hit by grenade after grenade. I mean, cluster, whatever you can think of. It will not be a fun time for anybody.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see if that is going to be happening to Vizion. I recall you saying that they beat their opponents the worst any team has so far. They've literally set a league record in how much they won that hardpoint by. And I believe it was
league records.
Three league records. One of them being in hardpoint, and it was on Mercado, I believe, that they did it. That's a map that's very heavy in the rotations as well, so in order to get a score line of that magnitude, you have to be good at rotating, especially if you're going to get on Mercado. So, taking that from the previous performance and applying it to this one, I think they're going to have a pretty strong performance. Myst, they did win one of their maps up against their previous opponents, so they didn't get completely blown out. So there is still a little bit of hope, and I mean, hey, maybe Myst just went up against a little bit more difficult opponent. Maybe there's a difference in skill between the opponents that these two teams faced.
And honestly, you're looking at our featured player of Bint from Vizion. And if you look at these statistics, they are absolutely insane, absolutely nutty. As I mean, it's a compilation of everything. And I guarantee you, a good chunk of this is from what Vizion beat Dynamax so horribly and so painfully. I mean, if I were Dynamics? Have I been saying this wrong this entire time? Good lord, this is exactly what happens to casters sometimes. But anyways, when they beat Dynamics, a good chunk of the statistics, which is brought to you by Lobby Up, I mean, we cannot thank them enough for this. I mean, number one on control, 130.7. I cannot even begin to imagine how nutty that is for any player here.
Yeah, literally the number one in terms of scores and control, number three in terms of overall. So Vizion, he's Bint from Vizion, he's just looking really strong overall. And so, yeah, that search and destroy might be a little bit of a weak point for him necessarily, but I don't know. It really still is a toss-up in my mind. These teams have not faced each other yet, so I'm withholding all my judgments. I can just sort of guesstimate what I expect to see going on here. And Ash, you've gotten to cast both these teams before, unless I am mistaken. You've at least gotten to cast Vizion, so give me a little bit of a prediction. I'm putting you in the hot seat here.
I mean, at least I've gotten the Cats Myst. Vizion, not exactly yet, but when it comes to Myst, they did put up a hell of a fight against their last opponents, being Acrylic, which is definitely Golden's team right there. I mean, I can't exactly say anything biased. I was kind of rooting for Myst, but they did lose 3-1. However, on a lot of maps, including El Asilo and Hotel, they did put up a hell of a fight, but then again, my prediction, I gotta go with a Vizion blowout. That is exactly where I am leading to here, as already Myst managing to get some triple kills against Bint, Crafty, and Snoopy here, and they are already off to an exceptional start.
And I mean, it's not necessarily how you start, but it's how you finish. But the start is looking pretty dang good for Myst. They're going to be trying to get in real mixy for these spawns already. You can see Kex, he's going to be taking down one on the objective, keeping Cray just in a little bit of a rough spot. And so that's going to be a clean wipe, clean rotation. And now Vrizzy going to be looking to hold down the main rotational angle. Bint, he's going to be well and truly put up to the test up against Vrizzy. And so Kex in the meantime holding down the main assault. All they have to do is just keep the scoreline basically even and not lose the spawns, and they'll be fine going into this next objective here, Ash.
And that is very true, as Myst already, and Kex on a 5-time killing spree of being able to hold this hardpoint, but not for long, as we are moving on to our next one. And Vizion will take these extra last seconds to put themselves in almost a bit of a tie game, and the new hardpoint will be moving on here to the Gallows, which I'm a little worried about that, man, because it's exceptionally open. It allows for a lot of space to be able to move around and get those kills, and already Vizion putting themselves in a bit of a good spot in terms of kills, but Myst will be able to take the hardpoint over in Gallows and getting these kills, especially coming in from Llama and Royal, getting the picks. Royal with a double kill before it's already ended, and Kex is going to go out as well. It's trade after trade here, and plenty of trophy systems as we are getting the contest set with Vizion coming in, but Myst will be able to retake and put themselves at 47 points and counting.
Yeah, but as you can see, that's going to be the last shell coming out from Vizion, as they really want to be locking down this next objective. If you can get the spawns for this objective, you'll pretty much never ever lose it, and you can see that's why they called off the people in the mid-map. As soon as they lose one, they're like, it's not worth it. We'll get a full 6 job this one, and we'll take the lead right on back. That's the idea here from Vizions. But, I mean, Myst, they've shown to be very good at breaking back into objectives and just getting great mid-map control, so I mean, maybe a lot of these players aren't even positive for the side of Vizions. Myst is definitely doing a little bit of a better job in the killing department, so even on an objective as hard to break as this, I want to put it past them.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, Vizion, they are kind of trying to clean up their best, as Myst at 69 points here, as much as I don't want to point that out. I mean, come on. It's the least bit funny. It's just a little bit funny, right? But Vizion, they will be able to get back onto this hardpoint over here in the courtyard, as Myst are going to be leading the charge. But when it comes to Llama and Royal, they're going to be taken out. But those grenades, they do connect on Kex. And Vrizzy is going to be getting picked off by Bint, who is our highlighted player of this game as well. And the hardpoint will be in the back of the control of Vizion, who are trying their best to defend this, and a majority of them going in, getting the kills on Myst, not even giving them any breathing room, barely any breathing room. But Myst, they will be getting the double kill coming in from Royal as well as Kex, and Vizion will be a little short-handed, short-manned, as the hardpoint will be moving on, and they lower the point deficit here, Kamika.
Yes, they do, and Myst, with that full team wipe, is going to be able to get a strong rotational setup here in the middle of the map. It's going to be really hard for Vizions to break out of this unless they're able to get this one person. And now Myst, they've sort of fallen back to the objective. They don't want to get too caught out in the middle of the map. It's a good idea. You take what you can get in terms of seconds and then fall back to your secondary fallback line. But Cray has already gotten behind that secondary fallback line. You're falling back into him, and he is making you fall down hard. And so, yeah, getting onto this objective, doing some good damage, but as you can see, Myst always good at breaking, even when it's back into hills that they have lost. And so, yeah, they should be able to be our first team to break 100 points here, as they find the only person on the flank.
I mean, they could be the first team to break 100 points. Then again, I have a lurking feeling that Vizion could be able to get this. Then again, Myst, they are back in possession of the hard point, and you are absolutely right with that prediction. They have crossed over the 100-point threshold at 104 and counting. As Vizion, I guarantee you, they're going to want to challenge for this next hard point with only a few seconds left, and this location moving over here. And Myst, I have a horrible feeling they're going to be able to charge in Blacksmith. It's a very open site. I mean, sure, you have plenty of quarters to be able to hide and probably get those kills, but Myst already reading the rotations, and Vizion, they are not having a fun time whatsoever. I mean, Royal's down and out, but for how long? As Kex does get a kill, but Llama, Vrizzy, Royal, and Kex going out to Vizion in a team kill, as they will be able to reclaim this hard point.
Yep, but I do have to say that Myst is getting split spawns, which might not be something that Vizions is entirely prepared for. There you go, coming around the back, Royal, easy layup for the two-piece. Great pinch out from Myst, making the most out of those split spawns, and unfortunately, Vizion, that's not something that you can easily predict. Spawns can be a little bit finicky on this map, and Myst, they just made the most out of it. You take an opportunity like that, and you're gonna take it 100%. Coming back into the objective, though, is going to be Cray, Lightning Ablaze, taking down 2, trying to throw down a trophy system, but just at the worst time possible as Kex goes in for the reach out. 5 seconds left on this objective, and it's a good time for Myst to be taking control over this and getting a full team wipe, because they can easily transition that into the next control as well as P2 spawn control.
I mean, I don't want to say it too early, but Myst is looking very favorable to be able to win this. I mean, Vizion, sure, they have the KD, they have the kills, they have the stacks, but Myst is looking in a better position as time goes on, and Kex in a killing spree of his own on this new hardpoint as they are up by almost 140 points, and this deficit is getting further and further. I stand corrected, though, as Vizion will be able to retake this, but how long can they defend for is the question. I mean, sure, you have plenty of room to maneuver, but for Vizion and Kex, they pretty much took that away, took those privileges, and this hardpoint is looking to go back into control of Myst.
Yeah, with these spawns being as out of control as they are right now, you're just trying to get control over something that is a little bit more tangible than spawns. You're trying to go in for a little bit of hill time. You can easily just shoot the person off and then try and go get control over the fortress in the middle, which is going to be able to reset the spawns a little bit better. They're really trying to find Crafty because he's trying to keep the spawn tomfoolery going on here. He's going to try and get Kex, does get at least Llama and Vrizzy up top, trying to keep him nice and pinned down, but nothing can keep this man back from doing what he wants to do. Teammates coming in from the opposite side. He's getting a little bit hit up, and so the best thing going for Vizion is going to be going down, but Myst overextending a little bit and getting caught out. Vrizzy is going to be all by his lonesome at the start of this.
Man, nobody wants to be all by themselves. I mean, I guarantee you loneliness is the worst thing next to anything else. And for Vizion, I mean, right now they are in a bit of an interesting position as Myst, they are going to be on the charge. I mean, sure, you can get kills, but when it comes to trying to fight Myst off, I mean, that's going to be a little tricky, proving how much they've been able to come back and be on the up and up. And as we get a couple of stuns here with Vizion, I have a feeling that Myst is just right around the corner to be able to try and retake this hard point. With the hard point being in Vizion's possession right now, I mean, Royal does manage to sniff out that kill and gets a double before being taken out himself. Vrizzy and Kex do almost put a team kill on Vizion, putting him on side, putting him on notice before being able to take that hard point. And as we get on to our next one, I mean, that's already ended, and the point deficit is just closing further and further and further in, and already this is looking very juicy as Courtyard is getting lit up, the kill feed going up like a Christmas tree as Vizion do get a couple of kills against Royal, Llama, and Vrizzy in their favor.
Yeah, what a break coming in from Vizion. This is not the easiest of objectives to break the spawns as well as the objective in one fell swoop, but that is pretty much the way you gotta do it. Otherwise, your opponents are just gonna keep on reinforcing over and over and over again. And so Vizions, they can catch up to their opponents quite considerably on this hill, despite the fact that this was about to be the hill where Myst was about to start running away with the game. Vrizzy's gonna at least knock him off and try and get the cross angle to where he can prevent them to getting on the objective time again, but unfortunately, Crafty just a little bit too good in the gunfighting in that situation. Vint now coming in, trying to get a rotation going on here, but Llama trying to keep them locked up in these P3 spawns. They can be a blessing as well as a curse, depending on how you look at it, and depending on what hill you're going into, Ash.
Man, also, can we take the time to look at Myst's KD right now, especially Kex? 34 and 17 already is absolutely nasty, and it's just stacking up further and further as it's an almost team kill on Vizion as Cray, Crafty, and Snoopy were out for a second. I mean, 190 in the hardpoint already being contested, but time after time again, going back into Myst's control, and already this is looking to shape up absolutely nasty. Kex spots out yet another person on Vizion, and almost manages to snag a double kill, but that is going to Vrizzy, and Kex getting the assist, and this is just getting absolutely wild, Comica!
It is getting truly wild, and Vrizzy now on a 5 spree of his own here. It's a very streaky team coming up here, Myst, and they will be able to break the 200-point mark, meaning they can win off of any of the remaining objectives, including breaks. This puts Vizion not only 40 points behind them, but in a must position to win all of these hills going forward. Otherwise, their opponents can just keep on breaking on in. They have to keep shelling out for the last couple of seconds here. It is a good thing that they have a good little bit of contention going on here, but Snoopy's not going to be able to get position to help this guy just in time, but Ah, man, it's going to be a really tough position for Crafty to hold on here. His teammates are in a decent position to help him out now, but they're all falling en masse, and so does he. Full team wipe coming on in here, and Myst is going to force a last stand from Visions on this objective.
My god, ashes, and they all fall down as Myst gets the absolute team wipe of a century, pushing in to this new hardpoint over on Blacksmith. Kex proving why he is the one with a triple kill, the killing spree going out, make that a quadruple as Crafty is going to be found in the sightlines of Kex, and yet another one going immediately, putting his KD up by 45 and 18 at a kill streak of 7, and right now, I have a very, very feeling Myst could be able to win this, but Kex's streak will be ended just like that, and the streak will be going over to Vrizzy. It's getting absolutely nasty. The multi-kill coming out. Only a few seconds left. I think Myst could be able to win this, but the hardpoint already being contested by Vizion. Vizion will be able to reclaim it, but not for long as a new hardpoint, and I believe Myst already has this in their favor. We're on Blacksmith, and Myst will be able to win in a huge bounce back compared to last week.
Yeah, wow, what an amazing performance from Myst. They go and beat our current record holders for best hardpoint. That's not something I don't know what is. I think we might have to get a record check here as well on the Kex, because man, oh man, was that guy close to dropping the first 50 bomb of the season, and I don't know, not even necessarily most highest streak in a row, but also just the most amount of kills in the game total. But yeah, if you're having a person like that on your team for Team Myst going into the search and destroy, I'm a little bit concerned.
I mean, I'm concerned for Vizion, but at the same time for Myst, that was an absolutely beautiful performance. I mean, right out of the gate, they're proving why they're one of the #1 teams to look out for. I mean, they gave Vizion an absolute run for their money, which we usually don't see from them. I mean, with Vizion, compared to their last week, that last game, it was an absolute 3-0 blowout, but for them to already lose this in 0-1, I mean, we're just getting started, and I'm a little concerned, like you said, for Vizion right now, man.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess maybe Myst just had a little bit of a difficult first match, because let's not forget, they're still looking for their first win of the season, and I mean, maybe Acrylic is just a really, really difficult opponent, so if Acrylic can beat Myst like that, then man, I am really curious to see how this league table ends up towards the end. But yeah, Myst coming out here and winning the first map, ladies and gentlemen. In case you missed it, Myst won 250 to like 180. Sorry,
I need Newcaster. I hate it here.
Yeah,
I quit.
Sorry.
I really quit.
But yeah, we are going to be going to Elasila, ladies and gentlemen. This is a map where you can definitely make the most out of pretty much anything you got good going on your team. It really is has positions favorable to snipers, good things favorable to subs, and things that are favorable to ARs. And I mean, you're not going to have all those things unless you're just entirely better than your opponent. But if you have two of those things at the very least, you can make one of the two bomb sites a little bit more viable than the other, we'll say.
That is very true. When it comes to bomb sites on Elasila, they have proved to be pretty interesting to say the least. Upstairs, not so much, but those downstairs bomb sites and even outdoors have proved to be the most challenging. I mean, it could pop up in a shed, it could pop up anywhere, and you're going to have a pretty interesting time to either try and defuse or attack. And knowing how Myst has played on Elasila before, I mean, the same goes for Vizion. This is going to be pretty interesting to see how this is going to level out, and if Myst can actually put themselves up by 2-0.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, especially if Kex keeps his killing power alive. And just entirely in that game, I do have to say that it wasn't even necessarily that Myst was out rotating their opponents well and truly, and they were getting to positions that made it easier for them to kill their opponents. They were going in for breaks and just beating their opponents off the objective in team fights as well as on an individual basis. So what I'm starting to see is, at least in the first map, Myst are a little bit better in the gunfight department. That's just what I'm seeing. Not only are they a little bit better at breaking, they just have great teamwork, but also on an individual basis. I think Kex especially, that's going to be shown. So Vizion, what they can do in order to counteract that is fall back a little bit on their own teamwork. Not put yourself in positions where you can get easily taken out, because in Search and Destroy, if you're getting caught in a 1v1 versus Kex on an individual basis, then it's a fight that he is more than likely going to win. So I think what Vizion can do is lean a little bit more heavily on each other and not like separate yourselves too much.
That is very true. I mean, we saw in the last game what exactly happened once you overextend yourself. I mean, Validity, they kind of did the same thing and majorly whiffed, what could have been a possible comeback, and it didn't really end well for them. I mean, for Myst, I mean, sure, they're an amazing team, but you have to remember, communication can only go so far, and cohesiveness as well. And when going against a top-tier team like Vizion, you really need to be careful in where you step and how you extend yourself, especially on a map like Elasila playing S&D.
Yep, and ladies and gentlemen, we will get to Elasila right after we come back after this break. Players still setting up, but we will see you as soon as they are done with the setup.
Race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell.
Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio.
Element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Molaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teski. Look at the snipes on a prop. He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be 3 in the kill feed there, but there's Mirage.
Familiar with me.
All right, and welcome back as we are moving into our next round here at AWL, the Gorilla Major 1, Vizion versus Myst. And on El Asilo, I mean, this is one of the maps I have been looking forward to all night, Comica, and I am absolutely hyped and ready to see S&D and how both of these teams play out in this map.
I always love a good El Asilo. It's one where you can be... It's not like an end-all be-all map where like, oh, we're better at ARs, there's a lot of long-range angles, so we're just going to beat out our opponents. Or, oh, it's a close-range map, so we got subs, we're going to beat out our opponents. No, there are a lot of different things you can do, especially with sniping involved as well. There's a lot of different avenues for teams regardless of their skill sets.
And that is very true, as already we are getting started. As you can tell, Vizion kind of left the bomb back there for a hot second, so they had to go back and pick it up. I mean, hey, that's no issue, and Bint is going to be in possession of that, but Snoopy already moving in on A site to probably see if he can distract, but Kex already getting first blood, getting our first double kill of this game, proving exactly why he's the one player to look out for, and the one player to be very, very afraid of when playing on El Asilo.
Yep, ooh, Crafty crafting his way into a shot in the back of an opponent, so now it's a 2v2 situation. Royal is going to be getting down the guy with the bomb, so Crafty is going to have to, I guess, craft his way back into a bomb pickup as well as a plant, maybe even a kill or two. Onto Kex and Royal, these are two of the players that have been popping off the most, especially Kex, so I would not want to be in this position if I were him, but he's going to try his damn best. Bomb down very, very far away, 30 seconds left, angle outside being watched. He's on his way into Kex now, which he wins, well done, and so now... with 25 seconds left, he's seeing if Royal will come in for a counter chow before he goes and gets this bomb.
This has already turned into a 1v1 situation between Royal and Crafty. I don't believe either of these players have seen each other just yet. The bomb has been left behind, and that is exactly what Crafty is trying to go back and get. And I believe he is looking for an A-site plant, which is going to give him away. I don't know if he has time. We only have a few seconds left before it can go off. And yeah, he does have time, but is spotted out, immediately snuffed out, and the defuse will go off, putting Myst ahead by at least 1 point here.
Yeah, that was well played by Royal. In that position, what you want to do is just figure out where does this guy want to go for a plant. And as soon as he plants, you're like, all right, I can rotate to that position quite quickly, and before he can maybe even get off the bomb. He was betting more or less that his opponent would be going to A, and if he wasn't, he would have rotated back through the middle of the map and tried to catch him on a long angle. So yeah, well played by Royal. Easy position, catches him off while he's still trying to reposition himself. And so, yeah, Myst are going to be able to recover from that one and get the defuse.
And honestly, we are switching sides here. I mean, that was a beautiful defuse, a beautiful my desk. Beautiful read coming in. I'm not sure if anybody heard my knee connect with my desk for a minute there. It's still in pain, but hey, that absolutely happens. I mean, whatever. So Kex is going to be in possession of the bomb already. The sniper shot will be coming out just momentarily, but can Royal connect with this shot? I mean, in the kill feed, you can tell Rizzy will be getting first blood, but unfortunately, none of those shots will be connecting as we're over here on A site, and already the bomb is going to go out, but Rizzy will be down and out, and as it is targeted, it's planted. I mean, that was an almost insane stun coming in. I mean, that could have been disastrous for Kex here, who will be staying there, but friendly fire coming in from Bint and Crafty, both of them. Oh, this is not going to be good in terms of vision. I mean, already it's turned into a 2v2. Kex getting the double kill! Are you kidding me?
I was not expecting that one. Kex, I mean, at this point, I should be. They both chowed him on the same angle, and he lined them up. Easy kills for Kex. Not easy for anybody else, but he makes it look simple. So yeah, there's something to be said about that. I do have to say, though, that it was not totally down and out of the possibilities for Vizion. They had a player on the outside of the map. They were trying to get him, but unfortunately, they misplaced their nade on that player. And so, yeah, not only did he not die, but, like, they killed one of their own players. That's literally the worst thing that could have happened.
My god, that was one of the most beautiful spray transfers I've ever seen out of a player in ages. I mean, if anyone deserves to go to Call of Duty League, it is 100% Kex, and I have a feeling we could absolutely be seeing him there as yet another kill goes to him. That is going to be first blood, but unfortunately the trade does go out, putting Kex out of commission in this game. Snoopy does have the bomb, but already Vizion are down, and it's one player left alive, and the majority of Myst, Rizzy, Royal, and Llama are going to be on the hunt, just trying to hunt him down like a wild animal, but Royal will actually be able to, will take the bullet right to the head, putting this into a 1v2 situation with Rizzy and Llama left to try and at least clean this up the best they can.
I like this from Snoopy, though. He does get the guy in the 1v1 scenario, and now he's trying to keep his options open. He's trying to rotate to see if there's any player left lurking. If they're separated from each other, he'll find them. He's just making sure that he is going to have the most clean bomb plant and that he can retreat to a position he knows that is safe. Now that he's cleared out the back enemy spawn, he's going to go for a plant on B, and I'm guessing that is going to be his path that he retreats to at the very end. He's planting it for that truck. I think that's going to be the way he pats to, and his opponents, I don't think, are going to be able to get on the angle timing-wise. Yes, they are not. So well played for Snoopy. Just matters if he can take this on a 2v1.
That is very true. I mean, a 2v1, you're going against one of Myst, two of Myst's top players, I should say, being Rizzy and Llama. I mean, KD-wise, not exactly that good in this game, but I mean, the past game was absolutely beautiful, but unfortunately, that will be the end of Snoopy, and the defuse will come in from Llama, putting Myst again ahead by 3-0, and Vizion to try and clean this up the best they can in the next round.
Yep, Myst starting to run away with the search and destroy. It does have to be said, they're already halfway to victory and have only played 3 rounds. That's pretty dang convincing, and so at some point, Vizion, they have to start making adjustments. Losing the first 2 rounds, typically in a search and destroy, especially if you're a search and destroy oriented team, I'm not going to hold that against you, because usually teams, if they lose the first couple of rounds, it's no big deal. They're just basically getting to know you type of rounds. It's establishing tendencies for your opponents. Where are they going to go? What are they going to be bringing? Are they going to be sniping? What angles are they holding? But we're starting to get a little bit past that point where Vizions can justify it by saying, okay, we're just trying to figure these guys out. Eventually, you have to start making proper adjustments in order to get some points on the board.
And that is true. I mean, Myst, honestly, they're trying their best to read and see exactly where Vizion is going to go in terms of defense. I mean, sure, they could hit up B site, they could hit up A site, but unfortunately, the read is too little too late for Kex, and he will be one of the second or first players to go out in here with a... Whew, that was a pretty nasty headshot coming in. The same goes for Llama. Both Kex and Llama will be out on Myst's side. And Vizion, I mean, they lost Cray, but I don't think that puts them down and out just yet. The bomb has yet to be picked up, as Royal will be circling over here trying to find a new route to seek out anyone or maybe even try to distract.
Yeah, especially if we're talking about impact players. Kex and Llama, 2 of your top subs being taken out, is going to be really influencing how you're going to be playing here. Rizzy coming on the outside of the map, as well as Royal. Royal's been doing a pretty good job, and he's going to try and take this close angle with Snoopy. And Rizzy on the inside, trying Bint. So now, making his way back towards the bomb, Snoopy's going to be finding Royal, and that leaves Rizzy all by his lonesome. Almost wins that fight to his credit, but a little bit too tagged down from getting shot in the back. So Vizion, it appears that better late than never, they are going to be finding out what their opponents are liking to do, and they are making adjustments, and I don't think it's too late yet, Ash.
Man, Vizion is making adjustments indeed. You can tell they are back on the up and up. I mean, they're pretty much waking up. It's the sleeping giant that has just been poked with a stick. The bear that has been poked with a stick, I should say. And Myst, I mean, I would be a little careful, because if Vizion is starting to make comebacks like that, I mean, who knows what they could do in this next round.
Yeah, I mean, only they know. I mean, hopefully they're going to be trying something a little bit different than what their opponents are going to be expecting. It looks like they're going to go for an overload play onto A, which is crazy considering that's where a lot of their strongest players are, but it also exudes hubris in terms of what I'm reading into this. They're going to try and tag him up, and they do manage to catch out Llama, which is nice. Maybe they weren't expecting them to take on Llama and Kex in this scenario, and they beat them both, so it's not hubris, it's just well-justified confidence.
Well justified indeed. I mean, Snoopy has the bomb, but Vizion is looking to be in a very favorable position here, and Rizzy is the last one left alive. The bomb has been planted, but how well can Rizzy clean this up? And it won't be enough, as Vizion will actually take this yet again, putting themselves in a more favorable spot and the point deficit by only 1, as they will be at 2 and 3.
Like I said, sometimes you just need a couple of rounds to figure out what your opponents are going to do, and if they don't make adjustments the same way that you do, it's gonna be a pretty quick game after those first initial rounds, if you know what I'm saying. So Vizion, looking like a good search and destroy team. Let's not forget they did win. They have our current record for winning search and destroy in the fastest amount of time possible. It's taking them a little bit longer this time, but I mean, hey, maybe they can start the speed run again now.
I mean, true speedrun it, they might be able to. I have a feeling that won't be possible. I mean, as much as trouble as Myst has been giving Vizion, I don't think any new AWL records are going to be set, as Kex will get a kill, but unfortunately is traded out by Snoopy off the bat, turning us into a 3v2 situation. Rizzy and Royal are going to be the last ones left alive to potentially try and clean this up. I mean, the bomb has yet to be picked up, but that is a fast win, and I may have stand corrected. I believe we may have gotten yet another AWL record, Comica. I could be wrong, though. We are just gonna have to look and see that replay of that VOD.
I'll defer to the refs on that one. We'll get back to you after the fact, ladies and gentlemen. But man, oh man, is Vizion really starting to turn up the heat. This is where a lot of teams, if you go a long time without winning after thinking, man, these guys stink, we got this one in the bag, we just beat them we're beating them 3-0, let's go for 6-0. And then your opponents come back and they have these really convincing rounds up against you, you start to be thinking, oh no, like lack of confidence starts to set in, you start to doubt yourself, and you start thinking, wait, maybe we play a bit more defensively, but then you play too defensively. It's a really big mind game. I can definitely tell that Vizion is starting to get into the heads of Myst a little bit. Kex getting right up in their faces, doesn't try to go for the chow. Llama goes for the finish, gets suckered right on in for the sucker punch. Kex does eventually get crafty right on back, but it's only a 1-for-1 trade.
A 1-for-1 trade indeed. I mean, Vizion is looking like a more and more powerful team by the second. I mean, Rizzy was just taken out in the kill feed. That sniper shot coming in from Royal does not find its intended target. I mean, Kex is going for a flank here, but can he pull it off is the question. I mean, the grenade does go out, but misses its target entirely. Kex looking very low on health, but Royal, however, in the kill feed does manage to take out Bint just like that. I mean, Vizion is losing players. The same goes for Myst. It's turned into a 3v2 situation, but Kex, I mean, hubris, the overextend, I mean, it happens, and that will be the end of him. But Royal, the last one left alive, but Snoopy does hear him, does spot him, and seeks him out, and Vizion will be able to take this at 4-3.
Yeah, not a very favorable position for Royal to be taking that gunfight up against the Vaz with just a pistol. It's just really unfortunate that he was the last one alive. Really didn't have much to do up against Snoopy there. He tried his best, hoped that he could catch him off guard, but unfortunately for him, he could not. And so, yeah, I can definitely tell that there's a little bit of panic setting in from Myst. We have Kex going on the long angle, which was a good idea, but with the Vaz, he's just not going to be able to hit those shots from a distance. He threw the nade, which telegraphed his presence, and then if he didn't do that, he would have thrown the shots. His opponents have an AR. He was trying to make a little bit of distraction to Royal, which did pay off pretty well, but unfortunately, he stayed there a little bit too long, and the player was able to re-rotate and take him down. So, Myst, something has to be changing. Your opponent's won 4 rounds in a row now, and Cray is going to open up again onto Llama.
And with that opening, I mean, Vizion, that's going to give him the obvious advantage here, and Rizzy does not manage to get out in time. I mean, Kex sure gets a kill, but how far and how long will this be able to keep up? How long will it go on? I mean, sure, they're not in the best position here, but Kex doesn't see it! Snoopy gets a 10 killing spree already against Kex. Royal, yet again, the last one left alive. This is such a recurring pattern right now with Myst. I mean, I'll admit, I thought this would be their map here on LSELA with S&D, but right now, Vizion has flipped this table, turned this game on its head, and it's looking more and more like their game, and I absolutely believe it's their game.
Lose 3, then come back and win 5. Vizion, again, sometimes it just takes a little bit of establishing patterns and like, alright, we figured them out, and now we're just gonna go and basically 6-0, pretend like those first 3 rounds didn't even happen, but they were very impactful for their opponents. They didn't get the wins, but they got the information that they needed to keep these next rounds going successful, and something that I'm noticing is that Vizion, I think they're starting to realize that Myst is starting to lose confidence here as well, more and more by the minute. Opponents are not picking up on things that they would have otherwise. They're missing a lot more shots, and Vizion is trying to pounce on that. If you notice in the previous round, they were on defense, but they were running right up on them into their home third, not respecting the 50-50 positions, and they are hungry for blood. They know they can beat these guys now. They've mentally dominated them, and they just got to shut this one down.
I mean, at this point, Vizion is out here with the bad manners. They are absolutely thirsting. They are wanting to kill their intended targets with anything possible. I mean, sure, the missile did go out, but there are definitely kills going in from Vizion right now. I mean, Vizion and Royal are the first two to be taken out off the bat, but Kex does get a trade there, but for how long can this last? I mean, Myst, they could be able to come back from this, but I stand corrected as Kex will be the next one out. Llama is going to be the last one left alive. I believe this is 100% Vizion's game. They will be able to take this. I mean, we will just have to see as Crafty has the bomb, and we are absolutely going for a plant here. Maybe not. They're running over the B side, and this is 100% going to be a plant in this shed right now. I mean, this is not going in Myst's favor right now. Llama is doing his damnedest to try and survive. The shots go out on Crafty, but none of them connect, but they do connect on Bint. But Vizion will be able to win this one and take this round.
Wow. I mean, if you were betting on, based on what you saw in the first bit of this game, you would probably be losing all of your money because Vizion's, man, oh man, did they really turn that one up in a way that their opponents were not ready for. Any momentum that they had coming out of that hard point, Ash, I think is going to be well and truly gone because they looked a little bit shaky, especially there towards the end. They looked a little bit unconfident in Visions. They perceive that in your opponents. You can never let your opponents see you bleed, so to speak. And if they do, they know that you can expect a whole lot more punches. You're going to have to expect a lot more aggression. And they just were not prepared for Visions. As soon as they figured out their opponents, once again, they beat them down in every single way they figured out.
Man, this was absolutely nasty, especially coming in from Vizion. They read Myst like an absolute book in this case. And you're right, any momentum that Myst may have had from their last game, I have a feeling it's just completely gone. It's wiped out, and they're going to do everything in their power to be able to get that back. But when it comes to a team like Vizion, like you said, they set 3 entirely separate AWL records on 3 separate maps. I mean, trying to go against that, it's sort of, and I say that, unstoppable object versus the immovable force. And when it comes to Vizion, I mean, they're essentially turning into a 500-mile-per-hour bullet train with jet fuel. I don't think they can be stopped, especially on this next map being Control over on a hotel.
Yep, and a big point to consider going into this next map is our top player for the week. That's going to be Bint. As you can see here, he is the #1 player in Control for Vizion. Mostly because they had such an incredibly domineering performance, but he was a main part of that, which is why he's so highly rated in it. So having this guy being the guy you're going to be going up against, I am again a little bit concerned. Let's not forget, there are 2 different methodologies to be winning series here, Ash. One of them is just completely beating out your opponents. Another one is winning a search and destroy, taking a control, and then winning the other search and destroy, which looks like it could be the main pathway for Visions, or Myst can take all of the respawns. So I mean, hey, if that's your goal, then you're going to have your work cut out for you up against Bint.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a feeling that anytime Bint comes in, like, you know the Undertaker theme from WWE, right? That's all you're going to be hearing the moment around the corner when it comes to this map against Bint. He is #1 in this mode. I mean, this is 100% like stepping into the territory of a silverback gorilla, and you are going to get thrashed around. It is not going to be a great time trying to fight this at all.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there could be this could be quite the explosive map. I mean, Vizion, they're coming into this with the momentum. They're coming into this with the record being in their hands. They're coming into it with the top player in the mode. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be coming into a Control on Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn right after this break.
All right, howdy, and welcome back to the Gorilla Major 1 qualifiers here. We have Vizion versus Myst, and already it's been an absolutely exciting night with these two teams, isn't that right, man?
I mean, yeah, it's been pretty exciting. We've had a pretty close Fortress hardpoint. It was not a blowout by any means. It was 250 to 185, I do believe. Give me confirmation on that. We'll get that later. But yes, on El Asilo, it looked like it was gonna be Myst's match for a hot minute there, for a hot 3 rounds. They won them back to back and pretty convincingly, but Vizion stringed up the heat in a way that they weren't necessarily expecting. And then when they were faced with an opponent that was countering their every move, they just couldn't find a way to answer it, and they won 6 rounds in a row. So now we've got some momentum going in the hands of Vizion going into Hotel Control, which was the place where they got the record for best control win and for their best control player as well.
Oh man, Hotel Motel Holiday Inn, as my co-caster said previously, and I will absolutely stick to that. I mean, this is going to be an absolute battle between not just Vizion and Myst, but between Vizion and Myst's top players being Kex and Bent, and already off the bat, we are starting off with First Blood coming in from Rizzy, but Vizion will be capturing Zone B for themselves here.
Yeah, and a not too surprising push out for B. This is what I've been seeing be the meta for most teams. Even if your opponents expect it, you just want to be going for it, because if you can win the initial merge, then you basically got the objective. And so, which is why, yeah, Myst is going to be left a little bit high and dry, unfortunately for them. Cray already on the rotation, seeing what mischief he can get into, but only finds a death. But now, Vizions, they have plenty of time. They got plenty of lives. They've got great positioning. They can use it in order to surround the enemy team's players and will down their lives even more. This is just a really great spot for all accounts for them.
I mean, honestly, this is 100% Vizion's map. This is 100% their mode. They played this so many times, and they set an AWL record on this, especially Bint being #1 overall in the AWL for this as well. I mean, sure, Myst might be able to defend A side here for a little bit, but for how long can they keep this up is the question, as an absolute triple kill coming in from both Bint and Cray on Rizzy and Kex. I mean, this is proving to be a little bit of a one-sided map in favor of Vizion.
I mean, yeah, this is looking good for Vizions, my friends. They are well and truly on their way to getting A on lockdown, but a great counter shell coming in from Myst is going to stop that from happening in the immediate. This was something they were good at. The hard point is breaking back into objectives. They didn't really have the chance to do that on B, but on A, they've done it at least once. They just got to make sure that they don't get full team wiped, and they'll be looking good. Bit still alive, looking to secure this one right here, right now. Quickly transitioning targets, and just like that, they have done it already, ladies and gentlemen. Taking and attacking side is Vizions.
My god, and Vizion absolutely proving to be an absolute monster to try and chow, but absolutely chewing and spitting Myst out already in round 1 of this map.
Yeah, and I mean, major things there for Ash that I would take into account is that Myst, they just didn't seem ready for their opponents to do the thing that is totally meta right now, just rushing straight in for B. A lot of teams, they send at least 3 people over there and then try and go for the rotate through mid-map if your opponents do decide to go for A for some weird reason. And so, yeah, losing B, it's the easier objective to defend when you only have 1 left, so you don't want to be losing that right off the rip. And Myst, if they can just keep themselves alive instead of getting full team wiped, they'll be in a lot better position. They need to play a little more ratty, in my opinion.
And honestly, ratty indeed. I mean, Vizion right now, not being able to take this control point. Myst will be able to grab A site just momentarily here, making plenty of progress, but I have a feeling Vizion is right around the corner, and they are going to absolutely chow this charge in with all their might. I mean, the jump in coming in, but Kex will be able to get that kill indeed. A little bit of friendly fire going out, but not enough to kill anybody just yet. Crafty, not crafty enough, as Kex does sniff him out.
Yeah, and already trying to go for the transition to B. They are pretty much expecting Vizions at this point not to be challenging them out for A, so they're leaving Kex here to get an easy A cap, which is what they're expecting, and that's what they should be expecting, because Vizions is looking to get the bedroom control. This is a major thing that if you want to be getting control over B, that you can't be letting happen. And Vizions has 3 players up in there. That could be a little bit of a downfall, though, because they don't have a whole lot holding the middle of the map. You've got Snoopy there, but if he gets isolated, then your opponents could easily just flip the map on you.
Yeah, absolutely, and all it takes is one flip indeed, but right now, Myst is being given a run for their money by Vizion. I mean, all over the place, they can't catch a break, as Llama and Vrizzy are going to be going out, but Royal does make the comeback on Cray to be able to take A site, but when it comes to B side, I mean, 1 minute and 39 seconds left, this could go in either team's favor, and Vizion, they will absolutely try and take this over on B side with the capture, and the chow does come out. Kex wins it, but not before getting taken out by Bint off the bat, and Vrizzy taken out by Bint yet again before Bint's reign is ended by Royal Myst.
Yep, and so Myst, they're going to look to get up in their opponent's spawn. They've got not a life advantage, but they can start to whittle down their opponent's lives. That's what Royal's going to be looking to do, and they're also looking for Crafty, hopping right on over him. So unfortunate there, dude. And so Vrizzy, he's going to get taken down as well. This is the big thing here, Ash. You don't want to be losing control over this area. Otherwise, not only are you going to be getting spawn killed on repeat, but you are also going to be completely unable to take B. Any position you're going to be trying to chow it from, you can get shot off of it from inside of bedroom. So your opponents are going to be looking to use that angle well and truly against you.
And that is very true. I mean, so many childs coming in from Vizion, but Myst, I mean, they're looking to be on the up and up again as B-site will go into their favor. Yet another kill coming in from Llama, but Vizion is on the back line. They're trying to do their best to disrupt, but Royal coming in with the double kill on Bent and Crafty, putting Vizion down, and the lives are just shrinking and shrinking continually. But B-site, they are making progress, and Myst, this is looking to be in their favor. But Vrizzy, I mean, that's one less, and Kex and Royal are trying to stay on this as best as possible. Bint, Crafty, Snoopy, and Cray, that is a full team kill. Vizion only had 8 lives left, but Myst will actually win this one.
And that's exactly what you need if you're Myst. Your opponents, they completely go and they blow you out in the search and destroy 6 rounds in a row, and then they go and have a great attacking round, which was pretty quick, all things considered. And then Myst, they do this to their opponents. They get up in their back line, and then, despite the fact that their opponents have literally the best positioning possible, they go in and they break it. That's got to feel good. That's got to give you a little bit of something to grasp onto to say, hey guys, it's a 1-to-1 series. We're not down and out just yet. Let's get our heads back on our shoulders, and we are still 100% in this game. And if we win this one as well, we can close this out in the next map.
And honestly, close it out indeed. I mean, 30 lives remaining for either of these teams, but as you can tell with that last round, I mean, it's going to dwindle down almost immediately. First blood going over to Royal of Myst. I mean, this is getting continually intense. It's turning into an absolute nail-biter of a control map. That is 100% for sure, but Kex and Vrizzy will be going down and out. The same for Llama. I mean, Bint is just on an absolute warpath right now with an 18 and 8 KD. I mean, this is looking to be in Vizion's favor.
Yeah, Myst did the right thing there. If you notice in the beginning, they did not want to get caught out on B again, so they sent 3 people there, and they won the initial merge. But unfortunately, the play to A, it was all a bait. They had the responding players go in the middle of the map, kill anyone who's going to rotate through it from Myst, which is the key idea if you're going to B and you're trying to hold A. You just rotate right on through, but if your rotational angle is cut off, you can't do it. So Visions, not only do they get a lot of kills, a lot of real estate, but they also get control over A very quickly. Snoopy on a great angle behind his opponents. Should be able to find Vrizzy here, yes. He's probably not going to be expecting Kex to be in that angle, but they do find Vrizzy at the end of the day. And so, Llama, going to be a big difference maker for his team if he can stay alive.
And not just real estate, but free real estate. Royal, I mean, you can tell in the feed with a killing spree of 5 right now. I mean, Kex right now is at a streak, but how long can he keep this up? And that is going to be a kill coming in from Kex, but not before he gets pinged and taken out by Bint. I mean, this is just going back and forth, back and forth. I mean, sure, A-site is going over to Vizion at this point, but I have a feeling Myst, they are going to be thirsting for a B-site control, and Llama getting absolute pick 6s here with the number one going out on Cray.
Yeah, and Snoopy in a really key position here. He's got to know, yes, they do know that Llama is in that corner, and so they take him down. That's 3 people down. Vrizzy, he's the only one that can stop this from happening. If he dies here, doesn't matter. It's all done. Mid-map control is now coming in for Vizion. He's going to have to spring into action sooner rather than later. His teammate's not joining him, but Llama coming in from the middle of the map with a 2-kill. Almost a 3rd, but now he did enough to where Myst can go for a retake. Bint coming in now, supplying a little bit of kills to his team. And another one. Now they're got a pathway back in yet again. Tick is going to be secured. Time is going to be stopped. Myst trying to set up for a counterattack.
And Myst is setting up for a counterattack, but when it comes to Bint, who managed to take control of Zone B here, you might as well change it from Bint to win with the absolute W he just secured for Vizion. And sure, they captured all zones, but at this point, Myst is going to want to be on the up and up trying to come back. But for Vizion, they are proving continually why this is their map, this is their mode. I mean, look at Snoopy with the absolute transfer here, the ADS coming out in full play.
Yep, and Visions, all they have to do is win an attack or a defense. They can either win this defense or they can go ahead and win another attack. It's been an attacking-sided map so far, but, I mean, I'm just worried that Visions is going to find a way in order to make some adjustments, not allow Myst to do the same thing they did to them last time, and then they will come out on top on this defender's side. So, Yeah, it just really does depend. They're going for the 2-2 split, which actually does work out for them because they're going to be going for A, but, ooh, Kex coming around the side. It's going to be a break regardless.
And that is a major break that Myst needed to try and get this A site right. And I mean, kills coming in for Vizion as well, especially with Vrizzy. And so this is going to be continual progress made for Myst, but how long can they keep this up? I mean, Vizion, they're coming in for the chow over here in near kitchen, right? I mean, sure, more progress is made. An A site, I believe, is going to go to them momentarily. So Vizion, they're probably thinking maybe we should move over into B site when it comes to control, right? And right there, point A is going to be secured, and everybody and their grandmother is going to be moving over here to B site.
Yep, and Vrizzy, they're actually going to overrun the objective and try and get some more kills as well as positioning. They know they got a full team wipe on their opponents. They know they're going to be scrambling to try and get in position just in time because Myst can rotate just as quick from that position. It's a really good spot for Myst to be in from that full team wipe because now they can stop their opponents before they get a strong setup onto B. They are going to catch them in the middle of the map, but they're on the objective, but they basically flip things on their opponents. This is exactly how you want to be taking this if you're Myst. You just got to make sure that you don't get caught out by Bint on the respawn here, and you're going to be good with them in this position, Vrizzy.
And honestly, that is absolutely true. I mean, my screen is kind of lagging here a little bit, but hey, Wi-Fi, that absolutely happens. I mean, yeah, it can be a thing here. I mean, there's no issue in it at all. I mean, a lot of members of Myst are going down and out, including Llama. I mean, Kex is still alive, Royal alive as well, but for how long? I mean, sure, they...
So we...
Oh no!
In here, but yeah.
Aslo! Did we crash?
No, I think he just went to reset the stream. But yeah,
okay.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Kex is still in a great position here. Vrizzy, they never really lost control over their opponent's side of the map, always playing ratty. It's exactly what I was saying that they needed to do. And here we have Vrizzy on a 2-killing spree, sees another one cross. I don't think saw him back. Oh, maybe he is a little bit wise, so he's jumping across, jumping right on in, and gets the kill. That's a big kill coming out from Snoopy. That gets rid of the last player on their back line, and time is starting to run out for them to get that position again.
Yeah, absolutely. Vizion coming in with the movement, coming in with plenty of stuns that they need, but Myst will get those trades, especially coming in from Llama and Royal to try and retake B. I mean, sure, they can defend, but Vizion will absolutely come in with another kill. So precise, so clean coming in from Bint, and the same goes for Vrizzy, who's going to be down and out, and yet another one, but Llama does manage to save himself from a very hairy situation there, and Myst will try and retake B, try and defend this as best as they can, but Vizion is just coming in, winning a lot of these chows, but not for long, as Kex does manage to take out Crafty and Cray before getting down himself.
Yep, and that will do it. Vizions is going to be able to win the map based off of that, and so they will be going up 2-1 in the series, so they can still definitely go for that strategy that I outlined here, which is winning the control and then all the search and destroys. They seem to be a little bit better than their opponents in the search and destroy, so, I mean, barring anything really good coming out here in the hardpoint, they can even win it here. They're in a really great position. They weren't even that far behind in the hardpoint, and looked well and truly better after they got themselves going in the search and destroy. I think this might be Vizion's game for the taking here. Ash.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I mean, 2-1, they managed to retake a lot of these modes, especially on El Asilo and Hotel with Control and S&D. I have a feeling that next map could be the one where they could be able to take this all, but Myst has proven themselves time and time again to be able to come back from these. I mean, the last thing I guarantee you they want is yet another 3-1 blowout, so who knows, maybe next map could put us in a 2-2 situation again.
I mean, that's the hope, especially from the neutrality standpoint. You love to see map 5s whenever at all possible, especially if you're a caster. But, yeah, we are going to be going to Embassy, which is going to be a little bit antithetical to Fortress in terms of how you're going to be getting your map control. You're not going to be getting it just by rotating, because if you just rotate, then you're going to be in position. You're never going to be able to cover all the angles. There's always going to be an avenue where your opponent can sneak in, shoot you in the back, especially on a lot of those objectives more than others. I'm talking about P3 especially. So, something that I've been seeing here, Ash, especially in the challengers when I've been casting it, is you want to keep on constantly killing your opponents. This was something that was very true in a lot of maps in the most previous game of Vanguard, and if you can keep your opponents dying and in difficult spots, then the spawns can be a little bit weird for them. You can literally have your opponents spawning in the 4 different corners of the map, and from there it is impossible to go for a break.
That is true, and I am 100% beginning to see why Bint is such a terrifying player to try and go against. 1,028 damage, but a 32 and 14 KD. I mean, come on, man. That is 100% why he's number here on control. I'm kind of terrified of Vizion and at the same time have a newfound respect for them as a team and for Bint as a player as well.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely not going to be, I would assume, not losing the #1 spot after a performance like that. I mean, it was still a pretty close one, all things considered. They just happened to be the team that won the first defense, and they were able to start on offense. So, yeah, having a player like Bent on that team going in over double positive, getting 32 kills, that's never really that bad, especially considering he basically effectively got a full round of kills there for them. You only get 30 lives, he basically got all the kills. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going in here into an embassy. Like I said, it is a map about paranoia. It is a map making sure you don't get full team wiped. Myst did a lot better of a job at that towards the end of that control. It was something that they struggled with in the beginning. But yeah, as long as they can keep in their pattern recently of avoiding getting full team wiped, then they won't be falling into the major pitfall that I said could be falling into them, I guess you could say, on this map, of spawning on all the different corners.
And honestly, with Embassy, I mean, that is such a tricky map to navigate. We definitely saw that in the last game with Validity and our last time. I mean, it was absolutely wild, and on this point being hard point, I have a feeling this could go in Vizion's favor once again, but never count out the underdog being Myst. So honestly, we're just going to have to see how this plays out, man. I'm excited for it, Comica.
I'm excited for it as well, and ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are excited for it as well, sorry, I guess we are going into the game. I was about to go into a transition, but ladies and gentlemen, I guess I could say stick around as we're going to be going into Embassy. Right now, we're going in right now, no breaks, going straight into Embassy. I've already laid out a little bit of what I expect to see. I expect to see a lot of kills, especially in the last 10 seconds of objectives, because if you can keep your opponents divided from each other on the respawn, and there are a lot of easy spots for your ARs to get into, especially on P2. I'm talking about that especially. So I'm sure they will be showing you a lot more than what I just said here as we get into this Embassy hardpoint.
And honestly, as we start off, I mean, I might have a feeling that First Blood could go over to Vizion. I stand corrected, as Kex will absolutely prove me wrong here before being taken out almost entirely. And Myst will be up by at least a couple points at 6, but Vizion will overtake, putting themselves by 7 points and counting, as already gotten on the hard point before being taken off of it immediately by Myst.
Like I said, it's not about how you start the team fight, it's how you end the team fight, excuse me. As Vizion, they might have gotten First Blooded, but I mean, hey, they go right on in and snag the spawns away from their opponents to get 12 seconds as well, so Myst at the very most is going to be like 10 seconds above their opponents, 15 seconds above them. So if they were able to keep the spawns there, which they're not, they're actually still making it pretty dang mixy for it. So yeah, Llama in a good position to go for this contest. Their opponents should still very well be able to take the lead back off of this. They're in a great position. They just got to make sure that they don't get killed by any of these exploding cars.
I keep forgetting that some of these cars explode, like a certain border crossing map that we have taken out of rotation we will never talk about yet again, as Kex does manage to get the snag on Crafty, and another one on one of the top players of Vizion being bent before being absolutely taken out of commission by Crafty, who does score himself a double kill on Kex and Rizzy, but Llama will get the trade here over on Snoopy and Myst. Sure, they could be able to put themselves ahead if they manage to retake this hard point with only a few seconds left, and they do indeed by 30 points at least and counting.
Yeah, and they can judge by where they're spawning that they can safely go for the rotation on a next. Great timing on the trophy system placement, by the way, for Crafty. That nade landed literally right next to him. And so, he's on next. His opponents are going to try and shell him out for this already. Vrizzy trying to make a little bit of spawn tomfoolery already and might be able to get a line of sight onto Bint, so that opens up a lot more angles for them. They're going to be cautious of the fact that, not very cautious, excuse me, of the fact that Vrizzy's right underneath them. And so, with one person left on the objective, he's going to try and come on up, either way, weakening the objective and weakening his opponent's control over the map in general.
And honestly, weakening indeed as Vizion. I mean, sure, they might be able to get a couple points here, but already Myst proving to be on the comeback trail here as Kexton Llama getting those double kills against Crafty, but not before Snoopy can absolutely jump in and wreck the place, with Llama and Vrizzy going out almost immediately. And Vizion, it's just a back and forth as this hard point is just being contested over and over and over again, but the grenade kills do stick, meaning that Vizion will lower this point deficit and be able to get ahead by 56 points and counting. And already Cray and Bint, I mean, they're stuck on this hard point, proving that they are absolutely going nowhere and giving Myst a run for their money here on Embassy Comica.
Yep, Visions on P3 are going to be able to take the lead. Llama trying to get some time on the next, especially considering that his teammates are not rotated just yet. They spawn completely and utterly away, but now with those kills, they should be getting the spawns back. Assuming they spawn in time before they cross the mid-map threshold, which they don't, it's going to be causing a little bit of a split situation. Very hard to tell that's going to happen, by the way, especially for the players, so they're probably not going to be expecting what's going on here. You have to watch literally every single angle possible, as now you can see Kex spawning literally right behind him, so that should give them a little bit of fortuitous positioning here, as Crafty going to go down, Cray now as well. Kex now gonna spawn into a 3-piece, but Snoopy's still coming out on top and allowing his teammates to get in a good position as well.
My god, you just might as well call Kex the Rat King at this point. As many kills as he's getting and as shifty as he is on a lot of these plays, but not before Cray does manage to end that reign momentarily. But Kex will be on the up and up yet again. And Vizion defending this hard point right now down below Embassy at 102 points and counting, and 13 seconds left, and we are moving on to a new hard point momentarily. I don't believe Myst will have any time to try and clean this up, and even if they do, that's only going to net them a few more points, as Vizion will be putting this point deficit further and further up, getting yet another couple of kills against Llama and Kex.
God, that hurts. Myst, they were on the rotation, but these last two hills where they've tried to get the rotation, their opponents have just taken it away from them like candy from a baby, meaning that it's pretty much very easy to do. So, yeah, Myst already up on, trying to get on the next objective once again, but their opponents are reinforcing quite considerably fast. Vrizzy going down low while his teammate goes up high, and going right on back in. We're going to be seeing Vrizzy getting traded out yet again by Bent, going 9-9, just trying to keep his opponents off the objective. And again, while they're doing this, they're just sucking up all the time. Myst getting close for the Chels, but never really able to take it away from their opponents.
My god, it's like whenever Myst tries to shoot somebody, it's hitting them with a light, maybe just decidedly misted napkin, but when it comes to Vizion, they are absolutely hitting him in the face with a 2x4, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse as this point deficit, it just keeps continually getting further for Myst. I mean, sure, Kex can get as many kills as he wants, but it can only go so far. I mean, sure, the KD, it looks clean, but in terms of Vizion, they are absolutely cleaning the floor with Myst right now, but Myst, they do manage to take this hard point. I might have spoken too soon, and Vrix, Kex, and Kex getting the double kill. Get on Vizion. Whew. I'm out of breath, Comica. This is getting too intense, man. I need a water break. I'm tired. I'm weak. I am losing it slowly and continually.
Yeah, speaking of losing things slowly and continually, Myst, they need to start getting some points on the board. Sorry, you just left me.
You are wrong for that one.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, they do need to get some points on the board here. They're in danger of getting 100-point clubbed. But yeah, something you were pointing out in the kill feed is that, yeah, some of their KDs look nice, but it's just Visions. They're getting a lot more better kills. They're getting the final kill in the team fight. And even though Cray is 3-16 and no one has really that impressive of a KD, they always get the final kill, which dictates pretty much where their opponents are going to be spawning, that they're going to be the ones on the objective. And so that is going to be the most important thing. It's not the number of kills, it's the quality of them.
That's true. It's quality over quantity, and I will say that time and time again and stick by it because it's tried and true. I mean, sure, Myst, they might have the flashy movement, they might have the moves, but when it comes to Vizion, they have the timing, they have the skill shots, they have the transfers, the picks, everything. And putting that against Myst is in a fight for their life right now. And at 84 points, I mean, Vizion at 178 and counting. This is looking more and more like a game and a 3-1 sweep.
Could be, but Kex is going to be looking to save the day once again, and damn well he does, at least on this objective he is. So, if he is able to win this fight, he will be able to get the last couple of seconds for his team, but that's going to be tasked to Vrizzy instead. That's going to be one less player looking to go for the rotation. And next, as you can see, though, Vrizzy's going to be able to take down one. Still chilling in the corner, though, is going to be Crafty. Knows he's coming up this ladder, and he just walks right into death, because Crafty knows exactly where he's going to be coming from. Coming up the stairs, though, is going to be Kex. Too many different angles to watch here for Crafty all by his lonesome, but his teammates are now coming to give him some assistance.
And as a new hardpoint will be spawning in servers, I mean, Vizion, they absolutely get the read off of that, and they will capture it off the bat. As Myst, they are doing everything in their power to try and retake this for themselves, but it won't be enough as Kex, unfortunately, down and out immediately by Vizion here. Not before Crafty can go out as well, and it's traded back and forth, and Vizion at 197 points. This is looking more and more like their game as Myst, they have tried to contest this, but it goes back into Vizion's possession, and Snoopy doing everything in his power to try and defend this. I mean, few members of Myst are already on this hardpoint save for Royal, and I believe Royal does hear Snoopy. Snoopy does get a couple of shots off, but they will not connect, but that will be the end of Royal as Llama back in the hard point, but it won't be enough, and Vrizzy gets a kill. The same goes for Kex, and Kex is down and out almost immediately. Rain ended by Snoopy in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Vision, they going really hard for these last couple of seconds, which will get them, again, about 100 points clean of their opponents. But Myst, they do the right thing in their situation. They go for next. They are going to be all hunkered down on the inside on a different angle, which is going to allow their opponents to take the spawns away from them, so it's got to be good in this situation for them. It's a one-for-one trade. Now it's going to be a little bit uneven as Kex, all alone in the objective, really needs some help. Player up top of him is going to be able to take down one, predicts the challenge, takes down the other, trying to tee up Royal for a retake, and is going to not be able to take down the other one, but pathway into Vrizzy is going to mean that Myst goes in for this retake in the full team wipe.
That was an absolutely beautiful retake coming in from Myst, but how long will it last? That is the question all of us are asking here in the booth. I mean, 142 points. They're trying to lower this point deficit as fast and best as they can. Kex in the kill feed with an absolutely beautiful multi-kill coming in. The streak setting up for possibly yet another missile, and Royal and Kex popping up again in the kill feed, and Vision are giving an absolute run for their money by Myst right now, as Myst, they are hard stuck on the hard point, which will be resetting and set on another one indeed, and actually down here in Cafeteria.
This is going to be the big point of contention here. Vision, they got most of their time off this objective. This was their strongest one to this point, and it's looking like it's going to be that way again. Kex taking down one at the very least, and coming from an opposite angle. Same angle is going to be his teammate. Kex taking down another one, trying to tee up Llama, and what a take coming in from Myst, not losing a single person on the second attempt. So, with 30 seconds still left on the board, they are going to be able to get a lot closer to their opponents, but again, Vision got about half the time here. So all they need is to break 15 seconds off of any of the remaining hills that Myst inevitably has to go through, but maybe even not needing to do that, Cray takes down everybody, including one of his own teammates, but it's going to be one final chance for Myst.
My god, him, bodies, that is essentially what Cray said in that last second as they managed to retake the hard point, and that will be the end of that, as Vision will win this and beat Myst out by 3-1.
Oh man, Vision, they really turned it up there towards the end. I mean, they had such a great lead towards the beginning. Myst, they did make the right calls in a lot of the right circumstances, but again, their opponents were just way too far ahead. They only needed 30 points going into this hill, and that's exactly what they got coming out of it, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, Myst, again, they tried really hard to come back into this game, and they were so close, but their struggles in the beginning really piled up against them.
My god, I mean, Myst, they had every opportunity for a comeback, but you can tell Vision absolutely read them like a book. They were able to worm into their heads and pretty much say, psst, yo, y'all want to see us win this? Y'all want to see us win this again? It's not going to be a fun time for you. You might as well, you want to just drop your guns and give up right now, because we could do that. We'll take you out for ice cream later. And then they don't take you out for ice cream, and everybody is sad by the end of the day. But hey, it happens. And honestly, that was an absolute game of a lifetime to cast here on AWL, and one of our most exciting nights that we've had in a hot minute.
Yeah, I mean, Vision, as soon as that third round of Search and Destroy hit up against them, they instantly turned it up, and it just seemed that from the moment that they started beating their opponents, they just kept on doing it, and Myst did not really have an answer. I don't know if I couldn't hear their comms, ladies and gentlemen, so I can't confirm this, but they just seemed like they deteriorated a little bit over the course of the match when things started to go against them, whereas Vision, when things started going in their favor, they just ramped right on up. It's like a little bit of an inverse thing that you see going on if you took a statistics class. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to Bint once again. Went huge in the control, huge in the hard points, and he is still going to be our #1 player in control and #3 player in the league.
My god, #1 overall. I understand why that is absolutely proven. I mean, with the stats provided by LobbyUp, we thank them yet again. Bint is looking more and more like a beast, and definitely a danger to everybody in AWL, and it will be put on notice shortly, I have a feeling.
Yep, and yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to see any more of these awesome matches going on, we are still in the qualifiers of Gorilla Major 1, so if you guys want to be seeing who is going to be some of the lucky teams that, not even necessarily lucky, the most skilled teams that go on to face each other in Gorilla Major 1, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that follow button for AWL on your way out. You're on their Twitch right now, so it's super easy. Go ahead and follow them on Twitter as well, and !Discord if you want to get involved. And also, I do believe they're holding some other qualifiers as well, or at least they did in the past. I'm sure they're going to be holding more in the future. So if you want to get involved, if you think you can do better than some of these people, you have a chance to prove that. Go ahead and type !Discord or follow them on Twitter in order to get involved yourself.
And honestly, we had a absolute blast casting as, I'm Achavok, and this is Kamika. Am I pronouncing it right?
Sure.
Yeah, just, okay, hold on. Over here in the casting booth, and honestly, this was an amazing night, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to have two amazing co-casters being Golden and Kamika to my right. Left? Am I getting it right? Am I doing this right? My god, like, the way the camera is set up is just so tricky. But besides that, we'd like to thank all of you for coming out tonight, and we will absolutely be seeing you in these next couple of days. Foot race is on. Towards kitchen we go as Katani here snaking like Cell. Absolutely dominate Battalion, as not only are they above in points, but the KD ratio element, they have come to play in the grand finals because Molaflight, you are already cut off by Mirage. You have one more shot at this hill, but you are cut down by Teski. Look at the snipe, that a prop? He's not just Mirage with the sniper. Maybe we'll get something nice. There it is. Able to clip one. It's going to be 3 in the kill